And it looks like there's a hell of a crowd there in Green Bay.
Lil Wayne is there. Why is Lil Wayne everywhere? He was just on the stage with Goodell.
Lil Wayne
all I know is Lil Wayne turned his back on Colorado by going up to Bill Belichick.
Right?
Yep, you're no longer cool.
Well, Lil Wayne survived. He survived a 20-yard bicycle ride, so good for him. It looked a little shaky.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Lil Wayne, of all people, diehard Green Bay Packer fan?
Well, that makes perfect sense.
So he's like Snoop Dogg. He's just a fan of anything. Hey, I didn't know that many people can make it into Green Bay. I mean, that's actually an impressive crowd. They got the entire city there, which is awesome because absolutely zero human beings actually traveled to Green Bay for this.
Yeah, there's been some shaky commentary from draft prospects about the city of Green Bay, but they turned out here tonight.
Travis Hunter loves it, he says.
Travis Hunter
apparently leave his house.
Well, he apparently loves everything. He loves Green Bay. He loves Colorado. He loves everything. All right, let's talk about what we're expecting here. What are we expecting here? And is the story Shedeur Sanders, the fall of Shedeur?
I got to tell you, about a week ago, I'm like, God, he's not falling out of the top 3. He's definitely going number 9 to the New Orleans Saints. Maybe at 11, the San Francisco 49ers are going to take him. And then I just keep going. And I got to admit, man, usually I don't fall for the 24-hour, 48-hour kind of smoke screen in front of the draft. But it does feel like there's a lot of smoke with him really, really falling.
What are you seeing, Andy? Go ahead. Just tell me.
This is amazing. And adding to Tyler's point, I don't know where everybody is parking. They've had to deny entry to the draft because maximum capacity has been reached.
Wow.
Nobody else is allowed inside, and there's already a lot of people in there.
Not to
Are
body
you
shame
kidding me?
Not to body shame people from the great state of Wisconsin, but when you
It's
think
a lot of cheese.
Yeah, you think about one average person, is probably more like 2 average people in the state of Wisconsin.
So less possible people, more total girth.
Well, Viking fans are in there, and I saw a Brock Purdy jersey and Buffalo
lot of
fans.
cheeseheads, though,
Hey, those
man.
Buffalo fans aren't too slim, right, Mr. DMac?
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you have to pile through a folding table somehow. Oh, well, you're pointing at Rob.
Wow.
Rob already did it.
It's the not-so-big Rob. There's a bigger Rob. All right, just to try something out here. Mark Springer, who's producing and rolling things in the back here. Why don't you just pot it up a little bit so we can see?
Our guy here's working
we're
on
doing it here?
We're going to get it. We're working.
Are we going to do it? Well, that sounds terrible.
Well, no,
all right, we're working on it.
Hey, there's a crowd. Crowd came alive.
Wait, is that the crowd?
No, it was a Madden crowd.
Or is that just static, Jesse? Static, yeah. Well, we don't have it quite figured out.
No, it's a crowd. We'll just say it's a crowd.
We'll work it out. All right, well, I tell you what. Why don't we take just a quick –
Oh, Mason Crosby's up.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Joe Powell, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I love about Mason? Only teammate I've got that's got way more gray hair than I do.
Okay. Well, good for Mason Crosby.
He looks good.
Let's take a quick break. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock, and when we come back, we'll start rolling pick after pick. And we are anticipating Travis Hunter going very quickly. And what will happen to Shedeur? Then the Broncos pick. Plenty of drama as we roll on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
Hey. Let's go!
Ready? Hey. You've got the 4 horsemen of Broncos Draft 2025. DMac, Sanford, Columbus, and Lindahl.
But look, we love our football. It is a religion here.
And there's more draft coverage coming up next on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 and 950.
Terry, when you want juicy, tender chicken, there's no compromise. It has to be Redbird Farms. That's what real chicken tastes like.
Vic, I've been serving Redbird for years. You're just happy I'm cooking, aren't you?
Of course, I'd be lost without you and without Redbird.
I'll take credit for both.
I believe in it. Juicy, tender, delicious. It's a no-brainer.
Redbird Farms chicken, available at King Super, City Market, and Safeway.
Grill it, fry it, put it in parm. As long as you make it Redbird Farms.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Spring is in the air. It's time to start thinking about those upcoming events, huh? Graduation parties, class reunions, company picnics. Let our friends at Brothers Barbecue bring the Q to you. Tender and juicy pulled pork, fall off the bone ribs, creamy mac and cheese, just a few of the crowd pleasers. From backyard bashes to big celebrations, Brothers Barbecue has you covered this spring season. Visit brothersbbq.com and click on catering. Make this year's grad party unforgettable.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 22 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Yeah. Welcome back.
It's Draft Day 2025. Several NFL franchises are building their futures. Several more are building their demise. It's like a car crash you can't look away from. And we're covering it all. Let's get back out to number 38 in Rhino on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 and 950.
It is such a gorgeous day here at number 38. My guy Coyote here.
Coyote is a man.
Is
He's
so
come in 2 years in a row.
This guy is a riot. He is a huge fan of the radio station, and he's got, I don't even know how you describe it, photos of us on his shirt, and on the back is me screaming yes, 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 yes from last year.
And he's got a photo of it.
Yeah.
Where'd the photo come from?
I don't.
Oh, he took the picture of you.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
He's the man.
That is awesome, man. And it wasn't just yes, yes, yes. It was like 14 yeses. I couldn't help myself.
And
it was exciting. It was exciting last year. I'm not going to lie. It was awesome.
Yeah. We had the Nuggets winning. We had the draft going. The Avs were handling business against Winnipeg, and now I'm nervous about the Nuggets tonight. I got no idea what's going to happen in this draft, and the Avs got me kind of bummed out. So anyway, I'm glad we've got the draft today, honestly.
The Titans are on the clock. There's 5 minutes to go. We anticipate, of course. Very low drama here, Cam Ward, correct?
We're on the clock. The draft has begun.
Yeah?
Let's go. Yeah, no, this one is
easy one, right?
Easy one. They probably will eat up all but 15 seconds because that's what they do, even though they know exactly what they're going to do.
All right.
Is that pineapple on a pizza there, Mike? Are we going to start controversy right away?
No, it's actually just pepperoni on a pizza.
All right.
I'm a true Ninja Turtle.
Why is Cam Ward such an obvious pick here?
I have no idea, DMac. I really do not know why.
Okay.
And I just looked up at ESPN and I saw the NFL comparison.
They're doing it right now.
Guess who they said?
Who?
The best quarterback in the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
All right.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I guess if it's that obvious.
Let me ask you this. What did Cam Ward ever do in terms of winning a significant game in his college career?
I saw him play one. It was against my Syracuse, and
How'd
he
he do
lost.
in that game?
He lost, and it cost them their season.
Yep.
I would be curious, and I don't know this, just from the couple of Miami games that I did watch. It seemed like they were kind of like the Heartache Kings, like every game was coming down to the wire. I'd be really curious who had more fourth-quarter comebacks, Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward.
Yeah, they were high-scoring type of outfit, and they also gave up a ton of points. So you did have to, in a sense, it was probably similar to CU in 2023.
Tyler's not wrong, though. It was flirting with danger for Cam Ward all year, and it mostly worked out.
I felt like whenever I watched him, and I watched him about 5 games. Yeah. Watched him against Cal. Watched him in that game against Syracuse, a couple other games. I saw the ball in harm's way a lot. His interception numbers weren't atrocious, but the ball was in harm's way. In the National Football League, they catch the ones that you throw to them. That's the bottom line. Cam Ward, good athlete. I think the Titans are banking on second-year head coach Brian Callahan, who both Andy and I know fairly well. he's coaching for his job, and he's trying to cover a multitude of sins around the quarterback position.
I didn't play on a Super Bowl team with him or anything. Don't worry about it.
You were with Brian.
Don't worry about it.
Brian Callahan coached it.
He was on a Super Bowl team. Yeah, he was like quality control.
That's so cool. Yeah. Let's go to Roger Goodell to the podium and get this party started.
Come on. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback from Miami.
All right, congratulations to him, Andy. Yes.
Bigger news, it's going to wipe this out. The predicted trade by Ian Rappaport has come true. Jaguars have moved up to 2. The Browns have traded them the pick. So
whoa, hold on. Say it again. I was tuned out.
The Jaguars have traded for the number 2 overall pick. The Browns are trading that and 4th overall, or a 4th round pick, which is 104th overall, and a 6th round pick, number 200 to the Jaguars, for number 5, number 36, and number 126.
Wow.
So the Jaguars are about to snag. Who do you think?
Travis Hunter.
They're getting Travis Hunter, and he's going to be coming home. The Florida boy.
Hey, Travis has got to be happy. He just made about 50% more money, no state income tax down there.
This has been rumored for about an hour.
There's 2 sides to this story. This means the Cleveland Browns don't value Travis Hunter enough. They go from 2 to 5?
Yeah. So the report earlier.
What the hell are the Browns doing? They're not taking a quarterback. They're not taking Travis Hunter.
According to Rappaport, they want to tackle, and 5 keeps them in front. Listen, all of a sudden, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Jets may all be taking tackles. Is what the last hours report
the Browns,
was.
Raiders, and the Jets should be all taking a quarterback. How about that?
What'd you play in the NFL?
Yeah, I played tackle, but I also understand the value of a quarterback when I don't have a QB.
Mike, what do you think of this move?
I think it's a tremendous move for the Jacksonville organization. New head coach there at the famous Duval. And I think it's exciting for Travis Hunter. He's got roots in Florida and Georgia, and so he's going to be playing close to his home. It's going to be big news for his father. I know he's at the tail end of an incarceration. I heard he was going to be in attendance.
He was allowed to go out there.
Yeah, so it's going to be a neat homecoming for Travis. And I think they're a type of franchise that desperately needs excitement around anything to fill that stadium because they're not a team that really captivates the local fan base.
What are the Browns?
The Jags have now drafted 2 former Buff wide receivers. Can any of you name the last one?
Laviska Shenault.
There you go, my man.
That did not go the way I thought it would either.
Yeah, no, it did not.
He was a baller.
Laviska has just been bouncing around. Went out. Is he still in Seattle?
No, last season he was.
Thought he
was in Seattle last year.
Someone else.
I don't know.
Okay, so Travis Hunter goes home to Florida.
We're assuming.
It's got to be that.
I mean, is there
Abdul Carter?
It could be Abdul Carter.
I would be shocked.
Let's talk about it. Why?
The very best player in this draft, period, ain't even close, is Travis Hunter. He's a better player without question. I think that the Titans are going to regret not drafting Travis Hunter. That's how good I think he is and how much he stands out in this draft class. And Abdul Carter, bottom line, he's got injury history. He's an incredible player, but he's got injury history.
And does this rule the Browns out of drafting Shedeur?
No. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why? Sorry.
Well, and if anything, maybe they're just trying to get a little value, so they feel a little bit better about taking him. You know, like they got a little better. They got a couple questions. Andy, okay, tell me again the picks that they got. Sorry, you don't have pulled it up. That's
no, it's all good. So let's see. With tonight's trade, this is the recent tweet from our guy Schefter. Your guy, you're going to have to get on tomorrow now. So the Browns now currently have 3 of the top 36 picks, number 5, number 33, and number 36. So the Browns can do one of 2 things. They've got the firepower with those extra later ones to move back in.
Yes, they do. That's where it gets interesting.
Didn't you guys talk about it with Field Yates? He had talked about, I think DMac, you'd said it on your show, we talked about it on our show. Could the Browns be looking to jump back with your old team, the Commanders, grab Shedeur 29, get the 5th-year option, and still have him, plus they pick up a tackle, plus they've got a couple more picks to work with, or if they're getting the vibe, because it was funny, Rappaport tweeted late in our show, all of the bottom 5 of the first round was out. They already are all wanting to bail. Yeah. If the Browns feel like no one's going to come up and grab these guys, maybe they just grab one of those second-round picks now.
So 33 and 36 does make it fascinating to move back up. You know, here's a 2-for-1, about 5 spots
and maybe
lower.
I give you 36 instead of 33.
Or I just give you both. Depending on how high they need to go.
You take a couple of the Jacksonville picks. You jump to 29. You get Shedeur. You still have your own pick for the second round.
God, would a 33 and a 36, would that get you to number 20 with the Denver Broncos to jump the Pittsburgh Steelers?
If I were the Broncos, 33 and 36,
I bet that gets you enough in a heartbeat.
A 33 and a 36 for 20, I would jump at that if I was the Broncos.
Yeah.
I would love that if I was the Broncos.
I would too. I don't know. I wouldn't mind trying to pry a first rounder out of somebody, but
if you had
last time we did that, we walked away with Derek Wolfe. That worked out all right.
You had 33, 36, and whatever what is their 50 whatever. You know, I mean, we're to have 3 second-round draft picks? Oh, my God.
And
that would
remember,
be incredible.
Leggy has told us all,
yes,
2nd through 4 or 5 is really where the value of the draft
is. Andy, especially for significant needs of the Denver Broncos. Very deep at the tight end position, rounds 2 through 5.
But see, now we need
very deep at the running back position, rounds 2 through 5.
The pick is in for the Jaguars, and let's describe the suit that Travis Hunter is wearing, fellas.
Hey, did you ever watch Jim as a kid? It's the color of her hair.
It is fabulous.
Did you see that Travis
Hunter, not on the phone, though.
Travis Hunter's fiance did gift him a brand new Rolex right before the draft, which is really nice of her to buy the Rolex.
I'm sure.
He's having a little snack there.
Sure, that's great.
Travis Hunter, do you think he's got an endorsement deal with Snickers? Because he was eating a Snickers, he's waiting to get his name called.
I don't think things happen by accident with Travis Hunter.
Is smiling.
Yeah.
He's getting high fives. I do believe Hunter.
He's pretty calm, though, actually.
I know. Wouldn't they be on the phone?
You got to think, as a family, the fact that he's going to be going to Florida
to live with this guy.
That is Florida Man.
Hold on.
We are seeing Florida Man on our screen as we speak.
Yes, it is. Do you guys remember what the GM for the Jaguars looks like? He looks like he's about 12 and a half years old.
Well,
he looks like Alex Ryan-Emmy.
Yes, he does.
Hey,
yes, he does.
He's doing better than Woody Johnson's kid because he just got Travis Hunter.
All right, let's go. Let's see if Goodell's stepping up. I believe he will be here in a second. And, let's go to the podium and hear from Roger Goodell.
The commissioner making his way to announce the trade to this crowd and the second pick in this year's draft.
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
Here comes the pick.
First off, Duval.
There you go.
Take that, coach.
That was a better Duval than his new head coach.
Let's go! I want to say thank you to the commissioner. Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide. And also, tonight I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you. We have a trade.
Yeah, we know. Thanks.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
All right, let's talk about Travis Hunter, Tyler. Give us a little perspective on a number 2 pick for the CU Buffaloes, man. That is awesome.
First off, Skull Buffs, right? Like this is a really cool. This is a really cool moment for the University of Colorado.
Highest ever selection, right?
Yeah, this is badass.
That's
awesome.
I didn't know there's never been a number 1 overall.
Yeah, I don't know who that would have been.
Yeah. Should have been Alfred. Anyway.
Should have been.
Could have been.
Yeah, this is a badass deal for the University of Colorado, for Buff alums, for everybody, and it's a badass deal for Travis Hunter. Hey, first off, he's just got to be exhilarated. Are you kidding me?
Awesome.
He woke up this morning thinking he's going to Cleveland, and he's going to bed at night, and he's going to be living in Ponte Vedra Beach in a mansion.
Joe Flacco was throwing him passes earlier today, and now he's gone. Well, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, now he's got Trevor Lawrence. So, dude, just a phenomenal kid. I'll tell you this: I don't think they bump all the way up to number 2 unless they plan on utilizing him on both sides of the ball.
100%. You're 100% accurate on that. And then what I'd say, as you watch Travis Hunter making the jaunt through
look at how happy he is.
He is ecstatic.
I'm happy for him.
And you know what?
I don't think he would have reacted that exact same. Maybe he would have been happy, but I don't think that happy by Cleveland.
This is different, and I just looked it up. Where Travis Hunter was born and raised until he was in 8th grade. 4-hour drive from West Palm Beach, Florida to Jacksonville. Perfect for him to be able to get back to his roots. And then Jacksonville's not far from Georgia. North Georgia, you're not far either, where he played his high school football prior to going to Prime Prep and playing for Coach Prime. Travis Hunter just oozes energy. He is the ultimate face of a franchise, and this franchise just got the biggest boost of both talent and charisma that I think that franchise has ever had.
Playing both ways. What do you think?
Got to do it.
Yeah, you're not trading up number 2 to keep him on one side of the ball.
No.
And you know what? I hope they give him a healthy dose of it, too. I really do. You've got to let – because I think he's got to play full-time defense. I really do. We had this scenario where it's like a starting pitcher, and you got to take advantage of the pitcher. How is he going to play part-time defense? Nickelback?
Yep, nickel.
I do the total opposite.
At all. By the way, this is the first time since, like, the Raiders in the 80s – you're going to have a couple Heisman Trophy teammates. Try to remember the last time, because remember, who's the quarterback? The old Clemson kid, Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Won the Heisman too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you got a couple of Heisman guys playing together. I don't remember the last time you had a Heisman quarterback and receiver playing together.
We congratulate the University of Colorado, Travis Hunter. His name and number does deserve to be retired. I'd throw Deion Figures up there too. What the hell? But we'll get to that at another time. The Giants are on the clock, and we're just going to keep rolling on CU Buffs.
As I look at the Jacksonville Jaguars depth chart currently on ourlads.com, where they post all the depth charts, the wide receiver depth chart is posted. Starting receiver Brian Thomas Jr., drafted last year. That was fantastic. And then opposite him, Travis Hunter.
That's awesome.
With
the Giants
Diami Brown.
The Giants pick is already in. Okay.
Wow.
Should Shedeur be drafted right now? Should he? I'm not saying he's going to be, but should he be drafted right now?
Not if Daboll isn't into him.
Bingo.
Mike and I are saying your example from last year is what leads the day now. If you're going to be into a guy and make sure you go all in to make sure that your guy looks good, then yes, do it. But I've read all day today. I've read Daboll's into Jackson Dart.
Let's hear from Travis. Jesse, pile that up a little bit. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Just do what I can do.
Travis Hunter, a history maker, the first player in the draft era to be announced at both positions, receiver and defensive back. Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
You mentioned that he's going home, Molly. His hometown.
Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, that's amazing. He was announced at both positions. That's really cool. Okay, what are the Giants going to do? What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be Abdul Carter.
It'll be Abdul Carter.
Tyler?
Abdul Carter.
Why isn't it Shedeur Sanders?
Because he's not into him.
It's all about the apple of your eye, right? And then we saw it a year ago. Was Bo Nix the apple of anybody else's eye in the first round? Most likely not if it wasn't for Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos.
So Russell Wilson is the apple of his eye?
It's so hard to imagine.
Or Jameis Winston, right?
Okay, but I ask you guys, if you're fighting for your job, with the way Deion's got a press conference every week, does it factor in that I just don't want the attachment of my business on the streets?
Take it on a rookie quarterback.
Okay, so I know exactly what you're saying there, and generally speaking, you're fighting for your job. You want the vet. You want the dude that you feel comfortable with. But I think there's another way to look at it. You draft the young dude, that buys you time.
I agree.
So all you got to do is show a little bit of promise, and now that buys you time. Whereas you go with the veteran, hey man, it's do or die.
No, look, I don't know why Joe Shane's not doing it. You've not found this team a quarterback. I don't know how to keep your job. Real quick, Bo Matthews in 74, thanks to a texter, from Colorado, a running back. He was also drafted number 2 overall.
Okay.
Guess he was picking 3rd in 74.
The Giants.
The Giants.
Let's go to the podium.
With the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter, defensive end, Penn State.
All right, I think it's a mistake because your quarterback, well, whatever. You're the Giants. Have fun. Abdul Carter, certainly. Let's just talk about him for a second.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch this player in person at the Fiesta Bowl this year against my alma mater, Boise State. Incredible length, athleticism. There's been some questions about some aspects of what he is character-wise. Mm-hmm. He's had a little bit of injury history at his shoulder this season, a foot as well. But Abdul Carter is, at his best, is elite Myles Garrett type of a prospect, and he is big and long, and he's the type of guy that can get home.
All right.
He is a tough dude to get your hands on. I mean, he's got good bend on him. He's got great power. He reminds me a lot of Micah Parsons. He's a thicker dude, though, I think. But he's a phenomenal player, and there's just no surprise in this whatsoever to me.
The Patriots are now on the clock. Most often,
it's a long walk, is it not?
Does
it feel like they're walking for like 10 minutes?
Tyler, when you just look at Abdul Carter in his, it looks like a very priestly suit
that
he's wearing.
Chain.
That's your chain?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he not look like the kind of guy that you would hate to block? Does he look so twitchy and he's just built differently, man. Just built like a dude.
He ain't lipping on the foot as his walk out.
Pretty good, man. He got a little bounce in his step. He knows he just got a bounce in his bank account.
That was so cute. He had a pre-planned handshake with Roger Goodell.
He did.
Oh, do you know they're doing walkout songs? Did you see that?
No.
They've all got walkout songs this year.
No. But him and Roger Goodell practiced a handshake.
No, they pulled it off.
So the question, DMac, that goes back to you and you raised, yes. I think, does the drafting of Abdul Carter do anything in terms of saving Brian Daboll and Joe Shane's job?
Hell no. Sorry, DMac.
I think it's ridiculous.
I did too.
I think this is a mistake, and I think the Giants are an idiot organization. And I'm not trying to put down Abdul Carter whatsoever. I just think that they're going with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston as your quarterbacks.
Don't forget about Tommy Cutlets.
I think it's insane.
Tommy DeVito, your Syracuse guy.
Listen, man, is this a possible move to be drafting Arch Manning and just saying as Von Miller?
They don't have time for that.
It won't be.
Brian Dable don't have time to wait for Arch Manning.
I think this is a typical moronic coach move and an organization that does not understand how to actually win football games. I think this is a gargantuan mistake not to take Shedeur Sanders.
It's got a little bit of the Bradley Chubb vibe. I'll give you that.
No doubt about it.
Can I give you my first ever not my first ever, but my first passionate anti-Shedeur take?
Okay, I want to hear it.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the setup in Texas?
Yeah, with the hats and the legendary.
It's not just the hats.
It's a room.
I texted it to you.
I'll send it to you, yeah.
It's not just a hat. It's a room. It's a green room. It's everything you could they had to spend $200,000, maybe more, on this setup in his basement.
Oh, wow.
It is the most over and beyond thing I've ever seen in my life. It actually does make me no.
Shedeur's got to do something.
It's too much.
But
it's too much.
He's got to do something with all that money, man. Where's that money going? It's got to go to a draft day room.
Who do you think paid for it? You think Shedeur paid for that?
I think he did.
Maybe.
I do. I mean, think about how much money he was making through, his endorsements.
More than I made my entire career.
He was upwards of $5 million.
Well, what does it say to you that he's got such an elaborate setup?
That he thought he was going in the top 10?
What that says to me is all the GMs, all the coaches that are looking at it, it's a lot. He is a lot. This is just a lot of a human being. And it's a lot of stuff that you got to deal with when you deal with Shedeur Sanders. There it is right there. Well, that's his own little green room that he made. So I guess he's going to go there after he gets picked and puts on his little hat. By the way, I counted the hats. They made the hats for every team that they thought might draft him.
Uh-huh.
How many do you think there were?
I think there was 24, weren't there?
I counted 20.
20, okay.
Yeah, I counted
How many should
20.
there be?
I don't know, but he had the Bills in there. He had some weird-ass teams.
Chiefs shouldn't be in there,
yeah.
right?
Broncos were not in it. I did notice that.
All right, I tell you what. While they take a break, let us take a break, too.
The pick is in, so.
Patriots, and I'm assuming it'll be Will Campbell, but you never know if there's going to be.
I have a little
Ashton twist.
Ashton Jetty vibes.
Well,
I'm getting Ashton Jetty vibes.
to the Patriots.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, for sure.
Why not?
We'll find out here as our draft coverage continues from number 38 in Rhino on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
Hey.
Let's go!
Ready? Hey. You've got the 4 horsemen of Broncos Draft 2025. DMac, Sanford, Columbus, and Lindahl.
But look, we love our football. It is a religion here.
And there's more draft coverage coming up next on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 and 950.
You know, Terry, when it comes to game day eats, there's only one MVP. It's Redbird Farms chicken. It's juicy, tender, what real chicken tastes like.
It's sure not chips and dip, Vic.
Redbird is the star. It's like having the perfect game plan, always a win.
You know it's the coach who puts together the winning game plan, right?
Yeah, I'm just following your kitchen game plan, Coach. Redbird Farms chicken, available at King Super, City Market, and Safeway.
Grill it, fry it, put it in parm. As long as you make it Redbird Farms.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 22 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
It's been over a year since I started sharing my advanced hair story with you, but some of you are still facing hair loss. Guys, don't settle with balding if you desire a full head of hair. Advanced Hair makes the solution easy. It takes just one visit. Your own natural hair starts to regrow the very next day, and your hair is backed by the Advanced Hair Guarantee. It's no wonder why tens of thousands of folks have already received the FUE treatment from Advanced Hair's top-rated physicians. It works for bald spots, receding hairlines, thinning hair, men, women, younger, wiser, and of course it even worked for me. A full head of hair doesn't only change the way that you look, it makes you feel more confident, proud, and youthful. Regrowing your hair where you were once balding is absolutely a life-changing experience. So schedule your free consultation and get 250 free hair grafts and $250 off. Call 720-459-HAIR. And don't forget to ask about the Advanced Hair Guarantee. That's 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Yeah. Welcome back.
It's Draft Day 2025. Several NFL franchises are building their futures. Several more are building their demise. It's like a car crash you can't look away from. And we're covering it all. Let's get back out to number 38 in Rhino on Altitude Sports Radio 950.
We're brought to you by Michelob Ultra. And not only are we here for the full draft, but our guy Brett Kane will be hosting the party for the Nuggets, which gets going in about an hour and a half. And we'll go to 9:50 once we go to the pregame with Birdo starting at 7:30. So we're on 92.5 for the better part of the next hour or so, but we'll be on 9:50. We're also on YouTube and on Twitch as well if you want to watch us watch the draft. So we encourage you to do that. So far, it's Cam Ward. After that, it's Travis Hunter in a big trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars, moving up to 2, and the Giants take Abdul Carter. The Patriots are on the clock, and the pick is in. So we'll recap everything in just a second. But let's go to the podium. Roger Goodell.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
Well, Will Campbell had been projected to the Patriots literally for months, maybe since the start of this whole thing. Will Campbell, offensive lineman, LSU, what do we know?
Well, he's
short arms.
He does have short arms, which
short.
is why I was just going to go there.
Look at him right there.
Which is why I love him,
dude.
Because your man right here, Tyler, had the shortest arms at the combine.
It's so weird because they look really long.
Now, you know who I was tied with? One of the
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
One of the all-time greats, Joe Thomas, short arms. 32 inches.
Right.
I had 32 inches. He had 32 inches. I don't know what Will's were, but if they're shorter than 32, don't draft them.
I thought he was 33 and like a half.
Yeah, see, 33 is still considered short. If you look at his early ball, it is cool to see the evolution of that kid because, man, he started off struggling, and he turned into an absolute anchor for LSU.
Yeah, you look at him and you watch this.
Kind of had a Garrett Bowles type of evolution, I feel like.
I think that's fair. Yeah. You see the athleticism. Like, when you watch him even walk up to the stage, it doesn't just scream athletic tackle in terms of just his build. He's about 319 pounds, a little bit of a pear-shaped body, a little bit bottom heavy. But
perfect.
The thing that he is I think his evolution, he became a smarter player as he progressed. He's going against the best defensive ends in college football at the SEC level.
He plays pretty upright.
He does.
Which would be my only thing. Like for a dude that isn't uber tall, he does play a little bit more upright than I'd like to see.
Dude, he doesn't get out of his
Look how tall he
is.
Look at where he's standing there. Isn't that bizarre?
He doesn't get low in his stance, right? You dealt with a little of that, didn't you? Because you're a tall tackle.
Yeah, I mean, I always had to fight that, but believe me, it's not an advantage when you're 6'8". That's a disadvantage.
I got to tell you, that suit is not. As a guy that's got a little bit of a midsection himself, that suit is not helping him out.
It's not doing him any favors. And also,
am I wrong?
It's a green pinstripe. It's like Al Capone if he wore green.
Yeah.
You know what?
6'8".
He's a Dick Tracy character right now in that thing.
DMac, he's become a Boston Celtics fan overnight. He's rooting for them in the postseason right now.
He feels like he knew that was coming. But there you go, Will Campbell. Again, not a lot of drama, but the drama comes right now.
Well, Membo's probably going next because everybody says Cleveland wanted a tackle.
Okay,
and
so
the Raiders apparently want to tackle.
Just checking here. No chance for Shedeur here at 5.
Great question, DMac. I haven't thought about it because everything I read the last hour of our show was that Cleveland wanted a tackle, and Membo would be fine with them if they couldn't get Campbell. Now, looks like Cleveland's already shaking hands, so they must have told the picks in, so we'll know here pretty soon.
That's not a very thrilled draft room, is it? Look at that. They're all just they're bummed out.
You just gave up Travis Hunter for a tackle.
Yeah,
but I would.
You got 15 people mad at the one dude that made the trade.
It is a sketchy move that they gave up on Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, no matter what they do here, and you got to assume their collection of other picks is going to translate into something collectively that's better than Travis Hunter. Don't forget, Hunter's 2 positions. 2 and 1 theoretically, at least for the first couple of years.
Nothing better than the old twofer. And the Cleveland Browns here. Who knows? There could have been some consternation within, the draft room. Some different, Kevin Stefanski, general manager, ownership going different directions. A notoriously dysfunctional franchise. But that draft room, whatever the pick was, to your point, did not look overly exciting.
That was a mixed room.
That didn't even look mixed to me. There was 2 dudes that were standing up, shaking hands, and everybody else is just sitting down with crossed arms.
Jaylen Walker could be in line here. Ted McMillan could be in line here. Who knows?
That'd be pretty high.
Could Ashenty be in line?
Could he?
As a Cleveland Brown.
Could he?
I mean, the answer to Ashton from here on out is yes.
Yes, you're right.
Let's get ready. Picks in. I believe our guy's doing the walk. No, wait.
We're going to hear from Will Campbell a little bit in his green suit.
This suit is killing me.
Well, we'll see how they, hey, that's a highly drafted offensive lineman. We really didn't spend a lot of time with offensive linemen and all for us here for the Broncos. It was never in question. We were never talking about it. But there were years that we were with the Broncos. This is sometimes all we obsessed about.
Okay, but let's say if Membo goes, then is Genty back on the table for the Raiders? Because everybody lately had Pete Carroll. By the way, go to Pete Carroll's Twitter. Pete Carroll claimed he was going to drop clues on his Twitter.
He dropped a Michael B. Jordan. Is that from the movie Sinners?
Is that what it is?
I just saw Sinners. I think it's from that.
Well, Josh Allen would tell you anything about that.
But
that is a Josh Allen wife reference right there.
Pete Carroll has done this for years and years. He loves doing the NFL draft clues.
All right, here's what we've got so far. Wondering from the movie Sinners.
John Cena.
Snoop Doggy Dogg is draft clue 2. He's got Teddy Pendergrass cooler than Freddie Jackson, sipping a milkshake in a snowstorm. I don't know what this is, but it's a movie. And now John Cena raising the belt is his final draft clue.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Don't know, Pete. You did a good job with your clues.
No, isn't the clue supposed to clue me in?
Let's go to Roger Goodell and find out what the Browns are going to do.
To announce the selection.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham.
Wow.
Defensive tackle, Michigan.
Okay, tell us about Mason Graham.
Yeah, really functional 3 technique, 4-eye, can play in either system, whether it's a 4-down or a 3-down structure. Tenacious, motor type guy. I think he's he may be a higher end version of maybe a Josh Allen because he does have versatility, maybe a little bit thicker. But just a really, really active player that plays great with his hands.
Man, you want to talk about, like, I guess it's a foundational move, all right? You're doing foundational things. You're trying to collect draft picks. Kevin Stefanski's like, dude, just start shopping for a new home now.
Can you see the shizzle-eating grin on Andy Lindahl's face right now?
What?
I got birdies all over the NFL draft.
Okay.
Mike's about to freak out.
I'm listening.
Mike's favorite player is about to get announced.
Okay.
Coming up for the Raiders.
Yeah, well, that's been the most predicted thing in the draft.
Ashenty you're talking about.
From Jump Street.
Okay.
That's where a lot of the mocks had him. And I do think that if you look at Pete Carroll and his background, as you played for him, he loves having a bell cow running back, a guy that can really get it. And obviously had it with Marshawn Lynch. You know, as a fundamental piece of winning a Super Bowl. And, you know, a defensive-minded head coach, a defensive coordinator, they want to make sure that their offensive coordinator knows that's the investment. Dude, I want to run the rock.
Get ready. Get ready to go Splitsville with the Raiders. That's probably what you'll do about every single year from here on out because Pete Carroll's going to win 9 football games, sometimes 10-11. And you've got a good quarterback that I respect. I don't know how you guys feel about Geno. I think Geno's a good quarterback, and he certainly knows how to run the system that Pete Carroll wants to do. You got a fantastic running back now. You got Max Crosby. Look,
Brock Bowers.
You got Brock Bowers. Raiders are going to be good now. Today, this year, the Las Vegas Raiders will be at least a 9-win football team.
What do you think happened with the Raiders and their interest in Shedeur Sanders and ultimately the bigger
There wasn't
commitment?
any. When they made that move to go get Geno Smith was not a bridge quarterback. Geno Smith was the plan. That's it.
Can I do you one better? I think when you went and got a 77-year-old head coach or whatever he is,
right?
I'm not here to groom a rookie.
Now, a lot of people would point to his past with Russell Wilson. They went and they got Matt Flynn, and then they got Russell Wilson. It's different. We're in a different phase of life. Literally, I mean, he doesn't have time for this, right? He believes in Geno Smith. That's it. He believes in him.
Grade this move by the Browns to move back a couple picks. Pick up a couple of other things, and then pick up Mason Graham.
Can we put a pause? I know I'm doing the – look, we'll be on – no, we won't be on the air. We got to see what they get with those 2 second-round picks, don't we?
Sure, of course.
To see what the full package is. I don't get it right now. If you want a quick answer, I don't know why.
Because you just gave up Travis Hunter.
Right.
You gave up Shedeur Sanders, too, by the way. I mean, you made a pretty
well, they haven't given up Shedeur just
right
yet.
There.
They have given up Travis Hunter.
All right.
Who the heck's going to play quarterback for the Cleveland Browns?
Well, then Andy
Joe
brings
Flacco.
up. Now,
Joe Flacco.
Andy brings up
for 17 games.
Well, hold on. Andy brings up an interesting point, and that's the Browns using ammo to come back in, and that could center around the Denver Broncos too. If there really is interest in Shedeur with Pittsburgh, it's not crazy that you could put a collection of picks together to move to 20. If you're the Browns, we shouldn't give up on it yet, right?
No, not till he's off the board. I mean, he's still available till he's available.
Okay.
Travis Hunter is not available.
And I would add also that you asked the question about Shedeur Sanders and the Raiders. I don't necessarily think that potential union is dissolved. There's a possibility for that in the second round. Shedeur guys.
In the second round?
We're watching Shedeur Sanders slide down the draft board in real time.
We haven't had a single shot of Shedeur yet, have we?
Well, because, again, the rumors all day today were that he might be a second-round pick now. Dan Orlovsky said that the Giants – possibly the Steelers and New Orleans all love Jackson Dart more than they love Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Shedeur is TV gold. They haven't even shown him in Texas. Well, they did show his setup, right? But they actually show Shedeur.
We saw a shadow in the background.
Yeah, he's not sitting in his setup.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the podium for the Raiders pick.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashenty, running back, Boise State.
How are your Broncos feeling right now?
Oh, man, I love this for my alma mater. Just like, Travis Hunter being the second pick of the draft for your alma mater, huge deal. When you're coming from a group of 5 school that, frankly, 10 years before I played there was an FCS school, and you have the 6th overall pick in the draft, that's a big deal. Great ambassador of Boise State, tremendous character. And I hate the fact that the Broncos are going to have to see him twice a year.
We know Sean Payton wanted him. That was all the buzz. If you're Sean Payton, I'm not psyched that the Raiders got the guy I wanted.
Comparables.
Saquon Barkley for me.
Wow.
And he's built differently in terms of
he's Saquon Barkley.
He's more compact, but in terms of the consummate professional that just for whatever reason cannot be tackled.
Now Saquon got hung up in New York though for a few years because the rest of the team just wasn't built.
Well, he also got that injury,
and he got injured as well.
Yeah, but he was still balling when he was healthy.
Do you feel the Raiders have enough around Genty to make him profitable for them right away?
I do. I think they've invested fairly well in the offensive line over the last couple of years, and I think Brock Bowers is somebody you have to account for. I thought Jacoby Myers was really, really underrated in how he was utilized as a receiver for the Raiders this past season. I think that the Raiders are going to be a lot more competitive, and Pete Carroll just brings that about.
Let's take a quick break. We'll recap everything that's going on. The Shedeur slide is happening in real time right now. The Jets are on the clock. The Panthers after that. That's not going to go anywhere. And what happens if the Saints don't take Shedeur? What happens then? Goodness gracious. Amping up to the Broncos pick at number 20. It's our live draft coverage at number 38 in Rhino, where the crowd is assembling for the draft and for the Nuggets as well. You all look great. We're thrilled that you're here. It's Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
Let's do it. Broncos Draft 2025. We've got you covered live from number 38 in Rhino.
Draft day one.
Monumental moment.
It's evaluation time of how can we be a better football team next year.
So young teams have to learn how to win.
And there's a lot more coming up on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 and 950.
Find your new getaway today. Get in the winner's zone at Century Casino and Hotel in Central City. New members can score up to $100 in free play automatically on their first day. Plus, eat free with $20 in food value. Just earn point targets on your free winner's zone card while you play to get your rewards. Get your first $5 at just 10 points. New members only. Must be age 21 or over with valid ID. Get away today to Century Casino and Hotel. Take I-70 to exit 243 to the Central City Parkway. Welcome to the winner's zone. If you believe you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
My Outdoor TV is America's most watched streaming service for hunters, anglers, and adventure seekers, featuring 20,000 on-demand episodes.
This is why we do it. This is adventure.
Plus, thrilling just shot and just caught content, fresh from the woods and waters.
You can't ask for a better experience.
24/7 live streaming channels and live Major League Fishing events.
Look at the size of this beast.
Subscribe today and get a 30-day free trial. Go to myoutdoortv.com and use promo code ALTITUDE30.
Spring is here, and everybody's in a hurry to get that house clean, so beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This is Brett Kane. I've been using Zero Res for years, and they always get your house smelling and feeling clean and perfect. And don't let those winter odors and aromas linger in your house any longer. Be sure to call my friends at Zero Res and get the proper cleaning of your home. Check out the 11,000 raving customer reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating and see what the hype is all about. And this month, 3 rooms, Zero Resified from Denver's #1 carpet cleaner, starting at just $114 and takes $75 off your air duct cleaning. They handle it all, whether it's carpets, air ducts, upholstery, rugs, and hard surfaces. Give them a call today, 303-471-5150, or go online at ZeroResDenver.com and say you want the Altitude Special. Zero Res. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same.
It's Draft Day 2025. Which player is going to be a complete bust? And what player is about to turn around a franchise? Let's get more hot takes now from DMac, Coach Sanford, Tyler Columbus, and Andy Lindahl. Live from number 38 in Rhino on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 and 950.
Andy is scouring the rumors and the gossip and the this and the that and the other thing. What are you seeing out there, Andy?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the Jets are going to do because, listen, I've not heard the Jets are interested in Shedeur because, again, your guy, Woody Johnson, and the Mooj are talking about – well, no, the Mooj is your guy. How much they love Justin Fields and how happy they are that they signed him.
They seem committed to him.
So I would imagine that they're going to stick there. But now, do they go Tyler Warren? Another one that we've all talked about that I think would be a great fit for the Broncos. They've mocked Tyler Warren to him in a bunch of places, but as of late, they've been going more offensive line. Membu's still out there, so does Membu end up being the guy here as they try to – should I talk fast like I'm Mel Kiper? I feel like I got a little Mike Kiper going on right now. So, yeah, I don't know. This is fascinating because if this is where we need to start watching slides for Warren or Colston Loveland.
Amen.
Because, again, Diana Rossini was back on after last night saying the Broncos wanted to trade down. Today she started saying now they want to trade back up. Dolphins are looking to trade down. Could the Broncos and Dolphins dance if one of those tight ends get to 13?
That'd be interesting. I'd be game for it. I mean, certainly for Tyler Warren, that's no brainer.
I'm with you.
I like Colton Loveland a lot, though. I know DMac and Scott were out on him because his arm was in a sling. And I'm like, okay, all football players are going to get injured at some point. And
you even talked about it yesterday about MPJ and his availability. If it's just a labrum or a AC sprain, like you get surgery and you're back 3 to 4 months later. Yeah, that's just how it goes.
We have some Broncos PTSD with injured guys around here, and that's why.
That was Jake Butt.
Jake Butt was, but now he was a deeper draft pick. But he really never was healthy, Andy. Never.
No, he tore his knee. Well, he tore his knee in the Rose Bowl. The other guy you're thinking of, too, though, is Jeff Hireman. Remember, they get Jeff Hireman out of Ohio State.
But Jeff wasn't hurt coming in.
First day of rookie camp, first drill.
He blows his knee out.
I know, but you didn't draft him.
No. Well, we did say there was a lot of logic to this, but you
drafted him third. I mean, third round.
How about Noah Fan?
Noah Fan have any
He was healthy when you drafted him.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go back and think about, because you're right. You're absolutely right. But I don't care what round it is. I don't love, and you're right, all guys get injured. But there's the muscle thing that I think you can recover easier from. And then I've talked to a couple people that don't love the shoulder thing for Colston Loveland. Now there's other people that say it's no big deal.
The Jets pick is in.
Oh, I think we're going to like this one. If you're a Denver.
All right, I got a rule here. Don't spoil the pick before we do the pick.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Don't spoil the pick.
When we get the Bronco pick, we're spoiling the pick.
We are not spoiling the pick. Do not spoil the pick.
That was actually delayed.
Here we go. Here's Roger Goodell.
Andy
I know that.
Yeah.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Arman Meu, Missouri.
Our Jets fan likes it.
All right, big offensive lineman. What do we know about Meu?
Freak. Combine freak, was the star of the Combine. Yes. The loudest 40-yard dash in the history of the Combine. There's all kinds of – but that dude can run, man. He's athletic. He's got length. I actually like his upside even more than I like Will Campbell.
Unlike Will Campbell, who looks a little bit pudgy. He looks like he's a little bit underdeveloped. Look at this guy. I mean, this is a brick house.
6'4" and a quarter, 332. My God.
And he don't look 332, man. I mean, he looks like he's got abs.
Yeah. Other thing I really like about him
and a big butt.
Look at the ability to bend. It's different film, right? I love these guys that are benders and finishers. Plays through his hips.
Oh, get in my belly.
He's a phenomenal player. I think his best football is ahead of him. Whereas Will Campbell's greatest trait is his intellect as a player. I think that Meu is the freakish type of prospect that's just going to continue to get better.
Not to rush it, but the Panthers pick is in as well.
They'll probably do the interview first, I think, though, before we hear from Goodell.
Okay.
Why should we be excited?
Mbu's not there. I take it back.
Let me ask you guys, why should we be excited right now as people that follow the Denver Broncos?
Because Tyler Warren is starting to slide.
Yeah, and what was one of the teams that was linked to Tyler Warren?
Jets definitely were one of them.
The New York Jets.
Yes,
I saw him mocked there
all the
very
time.
frequently.
I'll tell you what's good, too, receiver sliding as well. Pile up the better receivers.
Ted McMillan is still out there.
Fine by me. I mean, a receiver has not even gone yet. And, of course, the huge drama for Shedeur Sanders is just a few minutes away. Because if the Saints don't take him, boys, there could be chaos in this draft after that.
I'm warning you.
And that could be good for the Broncos, too, but in a weird way. Because is it good news for the Broncos if they're not even taking a draft pick in the first round this year?
If the Broncos don't take a draft pick?
If the Broncos do not take a first-round draft pick, could that possibly be really good news for them?
I guess. I mean, it depends on how much you get, and it depends on when you get it. We need picks this year, so I suppose if you accumulate a few more. But I don't know, man. I mean, you got to see what you get for it. I wouldn't be thrilled about dropping back late or mid into the second round. You pick up another high pick in the second round. Okay, I guess you could talk me into it, get a second and a third. I do not believe you're going to see a team jump from the second round to the Broncos.
Let me just back up. Do you want to see the Broncos take a first-round pick tonight?
Yeah.
I do, but I don't want them to reach. I don't want them to take a second-tier running back at pick 20.
Who would be a second-tier running back?
Amari and Hampton.
Wow. Here we go. Why do you say that?
I see Omarion Hampton as a very good college prospect, but not worthy at that position.
Do you like Henderson better?
I like Quinshon Judkins the best.
Judkins
in the second round.
You can definitely get Judkins in the second round. Well, I think you can get Judkins in the second round.
Just kind of depends on where you land, and in terms of draft order, you might have to move to guarantee a pick like that.
How do you feel about Caleb Johnson?
I think he's a wide zone savant. I think he's a really good wide zone runner.
He reminds. Do you remember? I don't know if you were paying attention to CU back in the day, but do you remember Chris Brown?
Yes.
He reminds me of Chris Brown, dude.
He's a taller back. He's a one cut kind of guy.
Yeah.
Sees it well.
Yeah.
But I don't really see Sean Payton. Correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't really commit to one thing in the run game in terms of gap scheme, inside zone, outside zone, duo.
I agree.
He runs everything under the sun. So you kind of just need best available running back.
And if he leaned on anything, I think he leans on gap schemes.
Yeah, duo. I'd say duo would be probably number one.
But Hampton's a stretch.
I'd pick 20. If you got Omarion Hampton in the second, I would be ecstatic. But at pick 20, it's all about value. And I think
who's your guy right now at 20?
At 20, so I want to move up and get Tyler
Don't forget,
Warren.
Daniel Jeremiah had the Broncos going from 20 to 13 today in his mock draft.
To get Tyler Warren?
To get Colson Loveland.
Okay.
Because Warren was already gone in his mock draft.
But Warren's still on the board right now.
The Carolina Panthers, has anybody mocked Tyler Warren to the Panthers?
Not really, but BPA sometimes. And
well, we should start paying attention. If Tyler Warren is on the board here in about 5 minutes, everybody should be paying attention for the Broncos making a move.
What would you give up to get Tyler Warren? Let's have that conversation real quick.
I think you are a dynamic offensive piece or two away from going deep in the playoffs with how you're built. So your first-round pick next year is going to be equivalent to an early second. That's how I think the Broncos. I think they're in that type of position to think about hedging their bets on where they're going to be a year from now.
I would be stunned if Tyler Warren got past the Dallas Cowboys at 12.
And that's
why you got to get ahead of them with the Dolphins.
I agree.
Well, no, it'd
the
be
Dolphins.
the Niners.
The Niners
are at 11.
Oh, the Niners. That's right.
You can get Johnny Lynch on the phone.
Well, hey, there was a report that the Niners wanted to drop back about, maybe even earlier this week, that they are looking to drop back.
Going from 20 to 11, huh? What would that take?
More than you probably would like it to. But you know what Mike and I were doing?
The 49ers are in total rebuild mode. Of course that makes sense.
Yep. Would you be willing to pay George Kittle the highest paid tight end number if this doesn't go your way? Because all of a sudden George Kittle would like a new contract. Yeah. Let's say you can't make a trade.
If we didn't already make the move for Evan Ingram, I'd say hell yes.
Would you give up
getting two older guys? Probably not.
Would you give up next year's number 1 to go from 20 to 11 for Tyler Warren?
Yes. 100%, absolutely yes.
Then what else you add to that?
Oh, God, hold on. Just think about that, though.
I know.
2 first-round picks for a tight end.
I'm asking the question.
That feels like a lot.
They did not take Brock Bowers last year, and it was a lot of sort of like.
I don't generally speaking, I don't even like tight ends in the first round, yet alone giving up two first
Warren
rounds.
is different. I'm still back and forth on Loveland, but I'll lean towards you guys since you like him. I'm not going to say I know enough about him.
If Loveland falls to you at 20, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I am all in on Colson Loveland at 20.
All right. Well, we await the pick. The Panthers pick is in. Let's see. That looks kind of cool in Green Bay.
It does?
Yeah.
It looks like a park.
It's because the NFL built a stage the size of the city.
All right, let's go to the commissioner.
In the Carolina Panthers, and here's the commissioner.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona.
We know him very well. We saw what he's done over the years, and it's impressive as hell.
Tet McMillan, length, speed, athleticism, and he is a full route runner. He can do it all. I thought that this would have been a pick if for some reason Tet McMillan slipped all the way down to 20. I thought Sean Payton would have absolutely loved having 2 humongous receivers on either end.
We saw a lot of mocks.
It's a little bit high for him, does it not?
It does. And there was a lot of negativity around him and how much he loves football.
Oh, do you remember what he said? He said he doesn't watch film.
Doesn't watch film.
He said I see all the film I need to do with the coaches. They already show it to me, so I don't need to watch it at home.
Now, to be technical, Travis Hunter was drafted tonight, announced as a receiver and as a corner. So he got announced as both. So technically that's the second receiver, I guess, off the board, right?
Yeah, and I think it is the second receiver. I do believe wholeheartedly. Andy sees it differently. I think you and I, Tyler, are on the same page. Travis Hunter needs to be a wide receiver.
He needs to touch the ball.
You need the ball in that dude's hands, and I do think he can play 30 snaps of defense a game in a dime or a nickel package.
All right, I don't want to rush through it, and we are at a point of huge drama right now for Shedeur Sanders, correct? We are at that moment with the New Orleans Saints.
The information is if they take it back, it's going to be a quarterback. It's going to be Jackson Dart.
Wow.
Dan Orlovsky swore by it this morning.
We had heard about that.
So we'll see.
We had heard about that today. Would that be a mistake?
Epically massive mistake.
You didn't like Jackson Dart's film this year, did you?
I love Jackson Dart going into this year, and I was so disappointed and let down by two particular games against subpar teams. It was the University of Florida. He was terrible. 2 interceptions that really lost the game for his team. Ole Miss was a team that was good enough to compete to be in the college football playoff. That was a big letdown of a year. I thought Jackson Dart underperformed in the Kentucky game as well.
This would be a moment. The pick is in. So the Saints did not waste much time.
Kellen Moore, new head coach.
Is it going to be Jackson Dart ahead of Shedeur Sanders? And where does Shedeur go after this?
Could it be Tyler Warren? This could be where this could be another problem for the Broncos.
My biggest fear right now for the Broncos as it relates to tight ends, namely Tyler Warren, is number 9, New Orleans, and number 14, Indianapolis.
Oh, Indy wants a tight end bad. If the Broncos want one of these 2 tight ends, they definitely have to get in front of Indy.
It is KKSE-FM, HD1, Broomfield, Denver, Boulder. We're live, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. We'll also have the Nuggets watch party. Now, we're going to plow on with the draft, even when the Nuggets are playing, because it'll be going on at the same time. Brett Kane will be along. Oh, there's the Kaner right there. And Dan, what's up, Kaner? Good to see you, my man. There you go. You're the fan of Brett Kane. And
no, I heard multiple fans.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah, there's one DMac fan here. I know that.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 Kaners.
Well, that's good. That's about right. What are we thinking for Shedeur right now, Tyler?
I don't think it's be Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders. In about 10 seconds, I'm about to be proved wrong.
Isn't that the beauty of all this, though?
Yeah. But my gut tells me I don't think it's going to be either one because it does not make sense to have Jackson Dart jump that high. If you're telling me you don't like Shedeur Sanders, fine. But to have Jackson Dart just jump all the way up to number 9, that don't add up to me.
Mike?
Jackson Dart, from people that were at the Senior Bowl, at the Combine, watched the totality of his lead up to the draft and all of his prep, is not worthy of a first-round pick. Certainly not worthy of a top 10 pick, but maybe, just maybe, this is the Bo Nix pick of the 2025 draft where so many people thought he was a second-round talent or later, and then he ends up being the second-best quarterback in the class.
What do you think the mood is right now in Texas with Shedeur and Prime and everything going on down there?
I think it's jubilation.
Jubilation.
They don't have to go to a franchise that you're going to get thrown to the wolves immediately.
I don't think it gets upset until Mike Tomlin doesn't take it.
I believe at this point Shedeur Sanders has accepted his fate of being a Pittsburgh Steeler, and they genuinely are excited about that.
What happened here, guys? Seriously, I'm not lying.
They didn't like the pro day. They didn't like the pro day. They didn't like the pro day. And this makes Mike mad, but I'm just telling you it's not my assessment. It's what I heard from people around the scouting thing. They don't like his size. They think he's a little slight. Guys don't. Some people don't like the attitude. Some people are complaining about the arm strength. Now, I think Tyler and I and Mike, that were up there watching the games, I saw plenty of arm strength and accuracy to hit Travis Hunter in stride multiple times on gotta have it downs. So I'm not sitting here telling you, I would take him. I told you guys in February, someone is going to talk themselves out of a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened here. Because they don't like the flash, and they don't like the attitude, and they don't like whatever, and that's fine. We'll see how it all works out. I hope he comes back and kicks all their butts.
Now, this looks like a war room that's ready to explode. Like, when they announce it, they look like they're excited about something.
Well, maybe they're all told they had to stand up, too.
That also.
Attention!
The reworking of the Saints, but because Carr's hurt, right?
Yeah, he's got a shoulder injury.
All right, the pick is in. Let's go to the podium.
This is going to be fascinating.
This is one of the more interesting moments right here. Let's go.
That's what they've done. Here's the commissioner to announce the pick for New Orleans.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
Never go wrong with offensive linemen. But let's get your reaction to Shedeur now falling basically out of the top 10. Tyler.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I mean, if you listen to Shedeur over the last week or two, he's talking about the best quarterback, the best duos, whoever the quarterback is with DK Metcalf and George Pickens. He knows. He's accepted his fate. He put out a tweet today that said, I'm built for whatever might come from today. In other words, yeah, I'm ready for the slide. Here it comes, Now, what's going to get fascinating is at 21. That's when the heart rate is going to go through the roof for the Sanders family.
Or 20. If the Broncos are holding it.
May I indulge in a tinfoil hat theory?
Let's go.
The Sanders family, namely Coach Prime, has always had the ability to control the environment of which his son plays quarterback in.
Okay.
Was there any posturing that happened over the course of the last several months?
Feels like it,
to get the heck out of the top 10. Because you end up in a terrible situation. If you put on your perfect hat for everybody, the New York Giants or the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders.
I'm going to call BS.
Go ahead.
Because the one thing – I shouldn't say this as a buff. The one thing that they like more than the right situation is the glitz and the glamour, man. I mean, going number 2, going number 3, they ain't saying no to that to get to the better situation, my opinion.
Yeah, it ain't sexy to go at the same pick that Tommy Maddox went at.
One thing that's a little bit different, though, about the Sanders family, they don't really care about the money difference between being the second pick and the 21st pick. But don't you care
about the image?
I think you care about the image when you're having success in your rookie year because you're surrounded by an elite defense and a playoff-ready team.
By the way, you want to talk about lucky? Again, for the Broncos. Last year was an outlier, fellas. I don't know when we're going to see 6 quarterbacks taken in the top 12. We've got 1 so far, and I'm not sure when the next one's going. The rumors about Jackson Dart, Andy, that you pointed out, turn out not to be true, but they did exist. And now you got some very interesting things going on with teams behind the Steelers. And I don't think everybody's going to sit now. If you're one of these teams that was the Bears pick is in, all right.
We need to pay attention to this. This could affect the Broncos big time.
All right, let's go to the podium. Oh,
they've been mocked.
Oh wait, I think we got a little time here. What's that time?
I got 2 wild cards left for Shedeur Sanders, though. I got 2 of them. Okay, San Francisco 49ers at number 11. Okay, just understand the Shanahan family. They don't talk, okay? They don't interview guys that they like. It doesn't get out of the building. You don't hear anything about it, okay? That's just the way that they operate. They've got something weird going on with their quarterback situation right now, and they're afraid to commit to Brock Purdy. That's number 1. My second wild card team for Shedeur Sanders, the Seattle Seahawks at number 18. They really only gave their guy a 1-year commitment. Mm-hmm. Why am I Sam Darnold?
Yep.
They gave him a 1-year commitment. That can't be the long-term plan. They need a future, okay? So there's 2 spots left, in my opinion, for Shedeur to land before we get to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You want me to ruin it or not?
Nope, don't ruin it.
First shock of the draft is about to happen.
No spoilers.
Shedeur Sanders is replacing Caleb Williams.
No spoilers. No spoilers allowed.
I have no idea where this is going to go.
All I'm going to say
That's a good tease. Just leave it there.
One of the names the Broncos love is off the board, and it's not the one you'd expect.
All right, well, we'll find that out in moments. We have a little, foolishness going on at the draft.
They're just talking about the schedule release party.
Okay.
So that's coming out May 14th.
May 14th.
We'll all find out about the schedule May 14th.
Good.
There you go.
Always a fun day. Well, the Bears pick is in. We will be continuing our coverage on 9:50 when we go to Nuggets pregame at 7:30 with Birdo. So we roll on, and we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitch, so you can watch us and enjoy it. And Brett Kane is hosting the party with Michelob Ultra for the Nuggets that gets going in here in a little bit too. But we'll roll on, and this number 38 in Rhino, absolutely beautiful. The garage doors are open. You can watch the game inside or outside. Tyler just put down some wings and some salad, and a whole huge pizza was just rolled out in front of us. So
can we please?
We're settling in.
Oh, I'm dying for this.
Let's go to the pick.
Here we go.
Roger Goodell. Go ahead. Let's go, Jesse.
And that includes all of them, quite like the Bears and the Packers, which goes back to the very beginning of the National Football League's history. And so these Packer fans will boo the Bears even more loudly than they boo the commissioner. Here comes Roger Goodell to announce Chicago's selection at 10.
Bombshell alert.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the 4th pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness, not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colton Land, tight end, Michigan.
Wow.
With Tyler Warren on the board.
I told you guys that I have been saying this for months now.
Wow.
There are plenty of people out there that value Colton Loveland more than Tyler Warren.
Wow.
Nobody wants to believe me. Scott and DMac have been yelling at me for months about how they wouldn't touch this dude with a 10-foot pole. And I'm like, what is? I'm like, have you watched the film?
Wow.
Have you watched this guy play football? He is an absolute difference maker as a wide receiver.
Hey.
In my opinion, more so than Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's a more complete football player, but this guy is a mismatch. He is a nightmare for third down.
The pick's already in for the Niners.
And yes, it feels personal because I've been dealing with two dum-dums for months that are like, I'm out on Colton Loveland.
Tell you what, man.
I am thrilled right now. I couldn't be happier right now. Way to go,
I
Bears.
agree. I think it's
Tyler, I haven't changed my opinion 1 second. This is awesome news for the Broncos.
The thing about Colton Loveland that I saw was the 2023 film with an elite quarterback in J.J. McCarthy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
This past season, that was tough sledding there for Michigan. No quarterback
It
play.
was.
It was disturbingly bad
It
offensive
was.
football. And so Colton Loveland's 23 film is what I believe the Bears are drafting.
Tyler, are you here to say that he will be a better NFL tight end?
I don't know.
Tyler Warren?
I don't.
Because that's what the debate's been about.
No, it hasn't. You guys have had him off the board entirely. You wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I wouldn't personally, but I like Tyler Warren better, and I'm nervous about the injury. So you're giving a high praise to a terrible organization right now that's made a litany of terrible decisions.
Well, I'm giving high praise to Colton Loveland. That's who I'm giving high praise to.
Well, he is a top 10 pick, and I cannot believe he was taken in front of Tyler Warren.
How wild is this to think
I
that,
am stunned.
as dynamic as once in a generation a year ago as Brock Bowers was, Colton Loveland goes higher than Brock Bowers by 3 picks.
That's unbelievable. That is a stretch and a half. That's a terrible pick, in my opinion, by the Bears.
I know everybody's probably tired of me self-glossing on this already, but I said multiple times I would take Colton Loveland above Tyler Warren.
I heard it.
All right.
I heard it. This was a moment of retribution, just like a year ago for DMac, and it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Well, if
Bo Nix over Brock Bowers.
I'm over there at Reconstruction Hill at Dove Valley. What's going on there? I am burning up the phones right now.
It's time to go, baby.
To jump up to get Tyler Warren.
To be clear, though, it'd be better if neither one of them were selected. It would.
Keep going. Keep dropping. But this is the Niners pick is already in.
I know. Did they jump? Remember, they're having some contract issues with Kittle. Do they just go ahead and decide?
If I'm them, yes.
Tyler Warren is off the board.
George.
Is Mike right, and it's Shedeur Sanders?
You got Jaylen Walker still on the board. You got Mike Green, edge rusher.
Mike Kell.
You need some defensive help. You
got Brock Purdy wanting $50 million.
Okay, hey, give me the conspiracy, brother. You want Shedeur right here?
I don't know, but let's
build
up. Let's see if Mike can do it too.
Let's go.
I got a little bit of breaking news that doesn't involve spoiling the 49ers pick.
No spoilers.
Because I do think that Andy's starting to get into spoil mode a little bit.
He can't help
himself.
I know.
He's Sammy Spoiler.
I know something you don't know.
You know how many of these shows I've done?
We have Twitter too, pal.
25. Yeah, well. I got one
but do you have
Twitter.
Jeff Legwold?
Oh, it ain't Jeff either.
Okay. All right.
I got boots on the ground in Green Bay.
A bit of a breaking news is Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel was in his press conference after talking about Will Campbell being drafted, talked about moving back into the first round potentially. Something that in the apple of their eye apparently is Amecha Ibuka.
Well, I think there's going to be quite a few teams that are going to be thinking about that. It's what makes the draft interesting from the start to the end. And it's where the Broncos should have been in the playground back in the Chubb draft, because even if you like Chubb, that is a spot that the Broncos should have jumped back in to get Lamar Jackson, but most people had tapped out by that point.
You know what was funny, though? Tyler and I were doing our show together at the other place, and that was going on. And you'll remember this. DMac, we asked the voice of Louisville, the place where he went to school, will he be a good quarterback? And their play-by-play guy insisted no, he wouldn't.
That's insane.
Because at the time,
compared
if you
to what
remember,
he did in Louisville,
Deshaun Watson had come out the year before, and I said, could he not be a Deshaun Watson guy? He goes, no way. Now he's better than Deshaun.
I mean, isn't that insane? The entire NFL said the same thing. Every single team in the NFL said the exact same thing as that dude.
To a two-time MVP and a guy who's
I got it. I mean, it's easy in hindsight to look back on it, but at the time you had 31 teams tell you, nah, he ain't good enough to go in the first round.
I tell you, there's not a lot of people who have better film in college than Lamar Jackson at Louisville.
But it goes back to what you're talking about. If you're committed to the quarterback and you're willing, and John did not want to go with one of these. John Elway, I'm talking about, with one of these funky offenses. He wanted his traditional guy. In 2018.
And John has already admitted it was the worst mistake of his career as a GM.
Do you remember?
That's Josh Allen, too.
He had the pre-draft presser when he said he was hoping that Case Keenum would teach Paxton Lynch how to be a professional quarterback. Trevor Siemian was around Manning, and that maybe Case would teach
in a
Paxton.
Quarterback loaded class. In a quarterback well, there is Shedeur.
And he's dancing.
For the first time, we see Shedeur.
But he's not on a phone.
Well, that's the first time they put him on TV, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't at the couch.
He's not.
Does the couch mean he's been picked? Because the couch was empty.
Okay.
What are you seeing? Now someone's got a little spoiler.
All right, so San Fran is on the clock. The pick is already in, actually, I should say. It's hard for me to imagine Tyler Warren's going to get past San Fran and then Dallas.
I'd be shocked if Tyler Warren goes to San Francisco because George Kittle's too good. I know he's aging. I got it. He's too good. You don't need to waste a pick on that.
We're just not in best BPA right now? Best player available right now?
No, first round's always best player available at a position of need.
Okay.
BPA in the first round.
So this has to be a defensive guy then, because they gave away their entire defense, right?
They have got to add some pieces defensively.
All right, let's find out. Let's go to the podium.
Please direct your attention to the main stage video screen for a special message from United States service members stationed.
All right, we'll turn that down. There is a reason why Alan Roach was not at the Avalanche game last night, because he was there getting ready for the NFL draft. Did you notice that?
I did.
That we did not have Roach.
Who covered it? Who covered
another guy who wasn't Roach?
Yeah. Wasn't Romy Bean?
It was not Romy Bean, although she's done it multiple times. She's actually done that. Good pickup by you. All right, so
if you look at the remaining teams between, say, 11 all the way to pick 21, they just showed the graphic of starting quarterbacks for those teams. Everybody's got their guy, really, except for the Indianapolis Colts. Richardson, is there any chance the Colts would go on Shedeur?
I'd throw the Seahawks in that
Let's go to the pick
here.
Seahawks.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive end, Georgia.
All right, they did go defense. Talk to us about Williams.
Yeah, just another Georgia defensive front seven player that's been drafted in the top 15. It seems like every year there's, 2-3 guys on the Georgia defense that get drafted. Really good player, a true pass rusher, an edge. I think obviously with the Bosa crew's getting a little bit long in the tooth. They got to find that next guy.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and again at 7:30 we'll be on 9:50 a.m. We're also on YouTube and on Twitch if you want to follow us there. Berto will have the pregame for the Nuggets and the Clippers coming up. We're live at number 38. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love it. We appreciate it. Brought to you by our friends at Michelob Ultra on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. All right, well, we got a little combo there. Tyler Booker, a guard from Alabama, goes at number 12. Again, this is incredible news for the Broncos with Tyler Warren still on the board. So Genty's gone. Colston Loveland is gone.
Tedero McMillan is gone.
Ted McMillan's gone. Who cares?
See ya.
I love it. And we're at the spot right now that Daniel Jeremiah speculated that the Broncos would move up to 13. Miami is on the clock. Their pick is not in. Let's keep our eyes on that because there is Daniel Jeremiah did predict that this is where the Denver Broncos would be picking earlier today. And now that Tyler Warren.
Mike McDaniel, an Aurora native, would be a fine trade partner for the Denver Broncos at 13. And you have to get to 13, DMac, to have a chance to get Tyler Warren because I think the Indianapolis Colts are going to take him at 14.
And there is no doubt because we're watching this, and usually one pick happens and the next pick goes in. We're on the clock with Miami.
It's a drunk draft, boys. It is.
It's moving faster than I thought.
We talked about this before it ever began. It was drunk with Shedeur Sanders. What the hell was going to happen with Shedeur Sanders? It's drunk with Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. It's just a drunk draft. You got the Cleveland Browns passing on Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. You know, this is just it's weird. There's a lot of weird things happening.
Sean Payton's got to be in the room right now screaming for them to move up right now. He's got to be. This is his ultimate Joker player he's been talking about.
And I know the background of George Payton also. And I know Sean Payton's going to make this decision, but together, George Payton is a college scout. And everybody that I've talked to about Tyler Warren, every aspect of his game checks out in terms of his intellect, his football intelligence off the charts. He can play so many different roles in a highly complex system because of how smart of a player he is.
Let me be clear about something before it even comes up. we get Tyler Warren, I'm fired up. Just because I like Colton Love don't mean I don't like Tyler Warren. I'd love to have Tyler Warren.
Well, something's going on here with the Dolphins. They're definitely fielding calls. Now, boy, a little drama here. We will be going to Nuggets pregame on 92.5. We are on 950 right now, and we're also on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you want to follow the draft, then we're here for you, and we'll see what happens at this pick, which is fascinating right now. But we also have the Nuggets against the Clippers. Our guy Brett Kane is hosting the party right here at number 38. We have an awesome crowd assembled. The garage doors are open. It's absolutely beautiful. So we are set up for a dynamite night here in number 38 here in Rhino, one way or the other. So, fellas, we're about to take the leap and just go to 950. We're already on YouTube and Twitch. But right now, we have Berto with our Nuggets pregame as they try to get in the right rhythm in L.A. That's right now on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. We continue on 9:50 a.m. and also on YouTube and on Twitch as we are here for your draft coverage, and the clock is ticking right now for the Dolphins. Fellas.
It's really ticking.
Will the Broncos make a move right now?
Hey, I mean, all the rumors were just 48 hours ago the Broncos are going to be one of the more aggressive teams moving up in the first round. If they were going to move up, never made sense to move up for a running back. That never made sense. What did make sense is if you like Tyler Warren, that makes sense. You got your chance at it now. Sean Payton's got ants in his pants. That war room's got to be – I hope they're on the same page.
Well, I'll tell you this. Tyler Warren ain't getting past the Colts.
I was about to say, make the move here, it ain't happening.
No way is he getting past the Colts.
What do you think
Unless
it means?
Unless they take Shedeur Sanders.
Who knows?
Well,
who knows?
Well, I don't even think that's crazy.
I know.
Considering who they got and what they're doing at quarterback.
I know.
So this would be a 7-pick swap in a sense, right?
Yeah,
From
not crazy.
20 to 13.
Not crazy.
You're not going to probably have to mortgage the future
hell
whatsoever to move 7 spots.
We're talking about third-round picks maybe next year, maybe this year, something like that. We're talking third-rounders, maybe fourth-rounders, combo meals. We're not talking first- or second-rounders. The Dolphins pick is in. Okay. Oh. All right. Little disappointed.
They may take Tyler Warren.
Would you blame him?
No. Best BPA.
That's
best
BPA
available.
probably right there, yeah.
Right now, Mel Kiper, his best player available is Shedeur Sanders, and it's been that way since about pick 5.
Well, that was his number one guy from the start of things.
Yep.
Guys, there must have been something in those meetings and other things that just really went sideways. And when we heard the rumors about this was the worst interview and this, that, the other thing, and we sort of said, come on now, that can't be right. There had to be some truth in it. That's pretty obvious right now.
DMac, and I think Mike can speak to this because let's be honest, you and I have had conversations in private about things. He had to answer the question, were you running the plays or were you doing what you wanted? And the further he drops, the more I wonder if people just did not buy you were running plays like you were supposed to. Now, again, I would say being at the games, a lot of times he was doing what he did because they didn't have time to try to go on a 10 or 12-play drive. He had to get something done right now. You know how many times I had said to Mark Johnson in a break on that broadcast Shedeur and Travis are the ones that keep momentum from going to the other side. They were amazing. But the NFL, and look, Sean Payton's a great example of it. I would have told you a year ago I'd have liked to have Shedeur over Bo. Watching what Bo and Sean do together, Shedeur never would have fit that.
Yeah.
No.
Sean never would have wanted him. And most NFL people want to know, are you going to run my offense or are you going to try to fight me on everything? Because I'm not interested. I have to tell the OC here if you're going to fight me at every turn.
Yeah, you're talking about a highly programmable quarterback in Bo Nix versus a bit of a wild card in how he plays with Shedeur Sanders. A lot of times you dial up a play and he might go hunt the bigger play by way of creating that second play. And I think that there are some fits that Shedeur Sanders has. I think that Pittsburgh is that fit. I think that Mike Tomlin is the perfect head coach because he will immediately have the respect of both Shedeur and his father.
All right, well, we're assuming, because we haven't heard of it, that the Broncos made a move here. So maybe the move isn't moving up because I don't think Tyler Warren gets past the Colts. He might not get past the Dolphins right here. So if you're the Broncos, who do you have the biggest target on? Now this brings up the other move, where a team may want to move in front of the Steelers to get Shedeur.
Right.
Who would those teams be? Is it still the Browns, the Saints? The Giants?
The
Is it
Browns
still those teams?
would have to be the most likely.
Raiders?
The Giants, I don't think.
Okay, but let me just say this. In order to jump all the way up to 20, I think you already got to have a first-round pick left. Because I don't think you got enough ammo, nor does it make sense if you just have a second rounder. So anybody that's already selected in front of 20, in my opinion, is probably out. Real quick, let me just give you one team that I think does make sense, and I'll give Scott Hastings credit on this because he brought it up on the show today. Los Angeles Rams.
I was just thinking about them.
The LA Rams at number 26.
Yeah,
that does make sense. Okay, they've been rumored to be after quarterbacks for a couple of years now.
Right.
I could see that one.
I could see that too.
What if the Browns offer you their two close together second-round
I'm
picks?
in. I'm all in.
32
Yeah, that's a lot.
did we say?
That's a lot.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I love that. I think you'd have 3 second-round picks in a draft that there's not a lot of first-round value there, but it's deeper 2 through 5. Okay.
You know you can get a starting running back in the second round. You know you could probably get a tight end in the second round.
Let's go to Goodell for the Dolphins.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Well,
Colts have already got the card in, so you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but and maybe they just love Kenneth Grant, I suppose. Miami does, and that's that.
Well, but maybe
there was time that went off the clock there, so I will be curious to see, and I would, at a press conference, ask the Broncos, were you active with the Dolphins at that moment? That would be one of the questions I would ask to the Paytons later tonight.
Well, and that's going to tell us a lot about where Sean Payton and George Payton were at with their evaluation of Tyler Warren, because, frankly, the rest of the National Football League, at least through 13 picks, didn't view him as a top 13 player.
The Colts like that.
Tyler Warren's
it's got to be. I mean, what else would it be?
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be.
Well, we know Andy's already got the pick, so.
God, but don't the Indianapolis Colts have a lot bigger issues in their football team than just going out and getting a tight end?
No, we agree, but every mock draft had them taking it. The only position they seemed to agree in a mock draft was that the Colts were taking a tight end.
Yeah, I agree.
Only they thought it would be Colston Loveland.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm the Colts, hey, this was the position I wanted. This is where we were going to go. We're fine with the second guy, and we get Tyler Warren, which might be the second guy. I mean, I'm not saying he's not. Maybe he is. They've got to be ecstatic, and there's no way they're going to do a deal. And now for the Broncos, it sets up a little conundrum here because there's really nobody left that you would move up for, is there?
Not that you would move up for necessarily, but I think at pick 20 we might find out Sean Payton might have his version of Bo Nix for this draft class, and I think it would come in the receiver room. It might be a Luther Burden.
Agree.
It might be Amecha Ibuka, because I've heard he interviewed off the charts with his football intelligence, his IQ.
And when you're just talking about value that's going to be on the board when the Broncos are there, I truly do believe the best value is going to be in the wide receiver room. You got Omarion Hampton if you want to take a running back. But, look, there's so many freaking running backs. There's really good running backs. They'll be there in the second round. The best value and the biggest missing piece on this team right now, I mean, yeah, technically the biggest missing piece is a running back. But outside of that, we need a better Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims is a good football player.
Is that the Texas kid?
You talking about Matthew Golden?
Yes.
You don't like him?
I think I like him because he's fast. I like speed. I don't know if he fits the prototype of a Sean Payton wide receiver. Bit slider. Think Xavier Worthy. So his plus trait is just vertical speed as a route runner.
Then I'll ask both of you. What about Luther Burden?
I love Luther.
That's where I think Tyler and I are both on the same. We see that Sean Payton likes to be able to utilize guys in different ways, and he is a run-after-catch player. Sean Payton likes to throw the ball short and let guys go and get yards after catch.
All right,
let's go to the podium.
Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
You could have had him.
No. Well, they could have had him if Miami was willing to deal.
We don't know, and we don't know.
Well, but what did they ask for? See, again, remember Jeff Legwold also told all of us that if you were in this first 17 picks and nobody's reached for a quarterback, so no great players have been slid down ahead of their grades or whatever, so teams are probably asking too much. There's probably a really good chance the Broncos just said, "You're high. No, we're not doing that."
Yeah.
What are you guys saying? You got something good?
Just looking at Tyler Warren and
okay.
Just a very, very normal-looking situation. Just a family that's sitting in a pretty average home on a normal couch without any. There's no DJ at his event.
Oh, it screams.
Doesn't have his own green room.
There's no green room.
No, that's I went to Penn State. I remember this environment.
Shedeur Sanders is going to be the first ever second rounder to have his own green room in his house.
Yeah, what happens? Is that like those shows where they come in and build fake stuff and then you tear it down when you're done? All right, let me cause some chaos amongst you.
Okay.
You and I haven't been at odds enough this year.
Yeah, that's
Let's try this.
Okay.
What if they go defense? Remember, Sean Payton, I feel
I would understand it. I wouldn't love it.
He's
but
tried to prep the waters with what he said
yeah.
that we may go defense.
And Walter Nolan is still on the board, and he was projected to go as a top 15 pick, and he hasn't gone yet.
Look, I know you don't love him, but that safety from Eminwari, the safety, is a freak.
I
can do a lot of things with.
I still like Malachi Starks, but let me answer this. DMac says he'd understand it. Not only would I not like it, I wouldn't understand it.
Okay.
It does not make sense.
You're talking about the safety?
No, I'm talking about taking a defensive tackle.
At 20?
Taking a defensive tackle at number 20.
How many defensive tackles are off the board right now?
2.
Tackles? Mason Graham and both Michigan guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. I believe.
Wait a minute. What about a middle linebacker? Come on. You got Singleton and we don't know. You wouldn't take another middle linebacker? I'm sorry. Dre Greenlaw.
Going defense in the first round, while you put it like that, seems insane.
But what if
with
you
the
get
talent
a
that's also out there? Guys, you can pick up that dude in the second or third round
I
as well.
think the middle linebacker in terms of their value, it's almost
changed.
It's essentially the running back position of 10 years ago.
I know.
In
it's
the,
not
in
the
the
same.
ultra pass happy National Football League.
And you picked up, I'm basing on his name, the dude from San Francisco, anyways.
Dre Greenlaw.
Talanoa Hufanga.
And Hufanga.
You used, in my opinion, you used free agency.
You did it.
To go bolster the inside of your defense.
What is bolster?
We'll learn someday.
Build up.
Nobody knows.
Guys,
all right.
I'm going to be honest.
Can I tell you my biggest disappointment?
Go ahead.
We got no crazy girlfriend reaction. We don't have CeeDee Lamb taking the phone away.
What about Russell Wilson's first flight?
That was bizarre.
We don't have. Did you see there was video tweeted out?
Oh, what about last year?
The dad giving a big hug,
and then
smacking her on the back.
Oh, who was that? Who was that? He totally tapped her.
It was
no.
It was
tapped the back.
Okay, so I saw this.
You might have tapped her. You might have tapped her also.
It was former Iowa prospect Lucas Van Ness's dad, and he was and it was actually
he snuck it in there, and he did it like backhand. He was trying to sneak it in there.
As you can see, things get a little spicy. We're on 9:50 a.m. and on digital.
Yeah,
you can say whatever you want.
It's got an after dark vibe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we're quite at that point.
We haven't sailed to the harbor yet.
No, but we might be putting up the jib. All right, the Falcons are on the clock. Now it's a little bit of a waiting game till we get to the Broncos at 20 as we kind of plow through this. Any other guys out there do you think that are dropping aside from Shedeur? You know, what else do you think is going on here?
I mean, if you look at best available, I think it's played out through 14 picks. I think kind of how I thought it would play out. Colston Loveland was the surprise.
That was the big one.
That was the big surprise going before Tyler Warren. And fellas, I got to be perfectly honest. Watching the reel of highlights for Tyler Warren, guys, this term joker is obviously used by Sean Payton, that you can be a multitude of cards in the deck.
Yeah.
This dude is – I need to be talked off a ledge, because I think if there was an opportunity to move to get to him just a mere 7 picks away, I think it was a mistake if you had the opportunity to and you didn't.
Well, we'll find out. And listen, if we find out the Broncos tried and it just didn't work out, well, hey, A for effort, right? Like, hey, you said what you said, you tried to do it, and perhaps, the Dolphins just weren't interested because they really wanted Kenneth Grant, and it just wasn't enough. Then the question is, well, wait a second, what was that line? So either the Dolphins just did not want a deal and there's nothing you could do, or you got a little cheap and you didn't make it happen.
I would think it's
would you be disappointed?
Hey, there's always a deal to be had, especially if they weren't taken. It would be one thing if they took Tyler Warren. You can say, well, there's no deal to be had. But if you want it bad enough, you can get it.
Well,
would you have given up next year's first round to get it?
See that for Ty Warren?
Not to move 7 picks.
I wouldn't have either.
I cannot justify 2 first-round picks for a tight end.
I agree. I agree. And I love Tyler Warren, too. But that's guys, that is too much. That's too much.
With you. We also don't know if that would have been what was potentially agreed upon.
Well, I mean, what else would it be? I mean, like, what is the line? If we find out they wanted a second-rounder and the Broncos offer a third, I might be a little disappointed.
7-spot pick swap, and then future seconds, thirds. I don't know.
And they say no to that?
The problem with it might have involved current second and third rounders, of which I think there is a lot of quality, and the Broncos should not part ways with their second and third round pick.
Overall, it was awful fun. It was awful tempting. But I'm okay right now because the Broncos haven't given up. And don't forget, they only have 7 picks in this draft.
Best case scenario for the Denver Broncos at this point, Cleveland Browns love Shedeur Sanders. That's the best case scenario. They move back up into the first. They don't want to risk the Steelers getting them, and you walk away with 2 more first-rounders for this year.
It is interesting Atlanta's taking so much time here.
3 second-round picks this year? That'd be pretty sick.
What if they take Shedeur? What if they just go full
The
chaos?
Falcons?
After going Kirk Cousins to Michael Penix Jr.
They announced
move on for Cousins.
They announced they were keeping Cousins. They've got Penix, and now they add Shedeur. They want all the quarterbacks.
They don't need a running back. They don't need a quarterback.
Well, they're showing him for some reason. I don't know why.
There's the party room in Texas with the money sign and the number. Oh, boy. Boy, there is a little Johnny Manziel right there, isn't there?
Jaylen Walker's hanging out. They're showing him. They don't look like they've
He's got folding chairs at the Lions Club.
Jaylen Walker's party is not looking happy right now.
That looks like it's at his high school cafeteria.
Yeah,
right.
Jaylen Walker, I love him. My 2 favorite scenes inside the house have been Jaylen Walker, and I absolutely loved Tyler Warren. Just middle America, Pennsylvania, just enjoying their little humble
Joe
abode.
Thomas fishing?
Yeah,
he was with his dad. Yeah,
short arm guy.
Hey,
short arm guy.
Listen, I wish we were at Broncos headquarters so we could relive the magic of that tight end from North Carolina telling us his agent said, "I don't even think I'd get drafted." And Josh took him in the second round.
Oh God, he was my teammate. Richard Quinn
told us all on the conference call. I didn't even think I'd be drafted. We were like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. and let me tell you, he played football like he shouldn't have been drafted.
Well, hey, somebody followed up and said, "You mean today?" And he goes, "No, not drafted." Like, what?
All right, we get the pick is in for the Cardinals, and let's
Falcons?
see. Falcons, sorry. Cardinals coming up here.
Yeah, some bird.
Yeah, bird, some sort of thing.
What would you rather be, a Falcon or a Cardinal?
Oh, Falcon for sure. Falcons are cool.
Yeah, bird of prey.
Yeah, over a Cardinal. Who would prefer being a Cardinal?
What does a Cardinal even do?
Just kind of sits there and looks
baseball.
pretty in red.
Yeah.
No, dies young.
You play Call of Duty or
boring.
Fortnite.
All right,
What was it, Call of Duty?
What
did Kyler write? Kyler Murray?
Oh,
he's a COD guy. Call of Duty guy.
Come on.
There we go.
Stay with me, boys.
Yeah, I got you now. I got you.
All right, Roger, let's go here. Boy, the Falcons took forever for whatever they were doing.
Well, maybe if they hadn't spread this damn stage out over the entire city of Green Bay, we wouldn't have to walk 9 miles to get the pick.
Holy cow. All right.
Well, they were probably trying like crazy to trade back.
I think we got a little.
If they take that long.
By the way, I think we got to keep it in the company. A little Skycam action happening right here. It looks fantastic.
Congratulations.
It always
what
looks
I
good.
want back from COVID? I want Roger in his big chair just all crumpled. And
there's something about that.
Remember when he was like the end of the night? He was barely awake.
Let's go to Goodell.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jaylen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
They went to the party too early.
There you go. Tell us about Jaylen Walker.
Here we are. What school are we talking about yet again? And what defensive front are we talking about
Stays
yet
at
again?
Georgia.
He's a University of Georgia prospect, another tremendous athlete. They have the biggest bag in college football, so they can pay the best players. And Kirby Smart is a defensive guy. He's going to make sure he invests in his defensive front, and he's been doing that since NIL and even before NIL. He was doing that even as the defensive coordinator at Alabama. His dollars were just a little better than everybody else's.
I got to tell you, man, these are some of my favorite scenes, though. I'm sure it's great to be there, but to see the scenes with the family and the friends and everybody that made that journey possible for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I know you were part of that, and it was a difficult night in some points, but it must be, to a certain degree, must feel amazing to be surrounded by friends and family like that.
It's the only way I would have ever done it. It's something like that one to me is even too big. I wouldn't want that many people there. I'd want it to be just my peeps, and make it as special as you could possibly be. But then again, a party's always fun.
You know what I love, though? Mom and Dad weren't trying to jump in the camera.
No.
They both moved to the side. They let him have his moment. That was awesome.
I'll tell you what.
Are things looking a little embarrassing right now for Shedeur?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't personally think that.
Here.
I think that this is the desired outcome. I still believe that.
Not until he misses on Pittsburgh.
If it changes if he doesn't get picked by Pittsburgh.
Yes.
If he's out of the first round, yeah, it's embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
If he doesn't get picked by Pittsburgh, is he out of the first round?
No,
we talked about the Rams. The Rams are interesting.
26. We got to look at 26.
Browns trade up to
and the
Commanders.
Browns coming back in.
The rumored Browns.
The other team I could see getting back into it is the Raiders.
Okay. Hey, listen, we start all sorts of interesting conversations, and people should remember the history of Lamar Jackson. They definitely should. And why not? And you might got to give up a little bit, but you're not giving up first-rounders anymore. You're not giving up first-rounders to move up. You're not doing that.
And from the Browns' point of view, they're giving up something that was never theirs anyways. They just got that. It wasn't theirs an hour and a half ago.
Do we still like the Browns passing on Travis Hunter?
No.
Golly.
Really?
I think it's asinine. I think it's asinine, and I don't personally.
Why am I trying to? Who did they take?
No, they traded out.
Well,
they were
for 5.
The Browns took that tackle with the funky
Mason
suit.
Graham.
That's right.
Who was very highly regarded.
No. Yes, he was a top 5.
And yes, you got to see what they do with those other picks to make a final call on it. But man, Travis Hunter was just there. I mean, there wasn't anything to think about. He is just there. So we'll see what they do.
The Browns fan base cannot be happy about that. Come on. You had an opportunity at Travis Hunter, and you walked away with a defensive tackle.
And whatever else you pick up, we'll see where you go.
No. They took the Mason Graham.
Who took
Will Campbell?
Will Campbell went to the Patriots.
Oh, that's right. All right, you're
Yeah.
I'm
All right, why don't we take
tackles.
we'll take a quick break here. The Cardinals, their pick's not even in. They're still on the clock. We're live from number 38. The Nuggets get going with the Clippers here relatively shortly. And we're here for the first round of the draft, brought to you by Michelob Ultra on 9:50 a.m. The Cardinals pick is in. Thank you for joining us. Brett Kane, the host with the most, here to take on the crowd with the party. We'll get Brett's thoughts on the Broncos pick after it comes about. And, yes, Walter Nolan, by the way, just was selected by the Cardinals. He had slid a little bit, that was probably on the Broncos' radar a bit, I would say. Omarion Hampton is still there. Ibuka is still there. Burden is still there. Golden is still there. Gerald Warren is still there for going on defense. I mean, there's other dudes that are around for the Broncos. And now with the Bengals on the clock, well, they certainly won't be drafting Shedeur Sanders. So the biggest story is we're waiting what the Broncos will do, and it sets up well for the Broncos to take Travion Henderson or perhaps Omarion Hampton. Broncos will not move up in this draft, as was suspected. I don't think. It'd be very minor if they did. I don't see them doing it.
DMac, are you getting some vibes at all about Travion Henderson or Omarion Hampton at pick 20? Or is it just is it just throwing it out there because the biggest need is running back and that those two players are clearly still on the board?
Yeah, it's just kind of logic like that. Yeah, Andy.
Matthew Golden's still there, the receiver from
Texas. Mentioned that as well. Yeah. Vernon Ibuka, like I said. I mean, hey, Golden was sometimes a top 10 projected guy, right? So
yeah, if he ran that 4.26, 4.2 at the combine, you run like that, man.
That fast.
That time in and of itself got Xavier Worthy to the spot that he got to, because before he ran that at the combine, he was a second, third round type guy.
Yeah, but then the Chiefs drafted him. We're like, of course, the Chiefs got the fastest dude in the draft.
Yep.
Yeah, it is interesting when you're this low in the draft, when you're a playoff team. You got to be flexible. You got to be light on your toes when it comes to tonight and what you would do. It's a little bit easier, I think, when you're really seriously a top 10 pick. I mean, more or less, the names don't always go exactly where you think they're going to go. But in general, guys, these are all names that have been talked about in the first round, every single one of them. There is not one guy who's been picked yet who's kind of like that, whoa, who's that guy, or can you believe that? That has not happened. And that's why when we talk about the mock drafts and everything leading up to the draft, it's not a crapshoot. It really isn't. I mean, these guys are poked and prodded and talked about in detail. And, yeah, nobody gets the draft, like, exactly right, but more or less the first-round guys are the first-round guys.
Yep. They usually fall within a 4 or 5 pick radius.
Sure.
I just looked at the ESPN best available players. How far down the list do you think I got to go to get Shedeur Sanders?
I think he's one.
He's number one.
He's one for Kuiper.
Kuiper, that's what I'm thinking about. Sorry.
List,
yeah.
I guess I don't know who did this. I'm just on ESPN.com and they're best available. They've got him as the 20th best player that is still available.
Yeah, second-round grade.
Well, Jeff Legwold had him in the 30s, and just in terms of his top 100 board.
Yep.
So according to Leggy, this is kind of going just the way it was supposed to go. He had Travis Hunter number 1. He went 2, and it kind of went like. But don't forget, he had Cam Ward at 18, and Cam Ward went number 1. Now this is just like player and not position, and
it's true rankings, not the quarterback.
Right, and then you can get into a kind of roll your eyes conversation about, well, what's really the value, of these guys into teams. So what does your top 100 ranking even mean? But whatever. So it doesn't surprise me that, hey, man, Shedeur really ain't that great. That's what that's saying. Yeah. And those are the rumors that Shedeur had to fight against this past couple weeks. And those are turning out to be true, according to the NFL so far.
So of the names that we've associated with Denver Broncos that are on this best available board, the highest rated prospect would be Omarion Hampton of the names that we've discussed. And they've got him as the 8th best. Matthew Golden appears to be the best available wide receiver according to ESPN, although I'm with Coach. I like Matthew Golden's speed. I like Luther Burden more as a wide receiver. And then Travion Henderson would be down at 15.
Okay.
Where do they have Luther Burden on this list?
Hey, let me tell you right now, I'm not disappointed if the Broncos trade back or trade out of the first round right now. I'm not destroyed by that.
I don't. Do any of us even have a favorite left? Like, there's so many guys who are
really.
like, all right, cool, let's see how it works out.
Yeah, that's why this weird. This year is weird
because we're not picking at 12.
Yeah, it's just so unpredictable. You got about 4 positions that you could pick from, and you could probably talk me into the logic of, well, at least 3 of them. I don't know. You can talk me into the logic of defensive tackle, but you can talk me into tight end. You can talk me into running back. You can talk me into wide receiver.
Well, Walter Nolan's now gone. So if we're going on that defensive line now, we're digging a little deeper now.
Has it surprised you guys how few trades there have been? Still just one trade?
It does not. The thing about trades is you hear about them every year.
Yeah.
People speculate them. The one consistent message for covering the NFL for so long, it's harder to do than you think. It's easy for us to spitball, trade here, trade this, ba-ba-da-ba-dum. I've talked to these GMs. George Payton has said it many times. It's way harder to pull off than everybody thinks. There's been one so far. One.
If the Broncos didn't make an effort to trade
for Tyler Warren
to pick 13,
I'd be disappointed.
Is that a mistake?
Well, like Tyler said, you can always get him. I mean, you can always offer something ridiculous to go get a guy. You can do it. So I'd be disappointed if they didn't make some sort of effort.
Because we don't know. We won't know. We may never know exactly because there's lying even after the draft. Am I right?
Sometimes, sure, because it's usually an insult.
Oh, you always got
else.
your guy.
Well,
you always got your best dude on the board.
Right.
You know what I'd be curious to know? If they called, I always love to hear the stories of what happened if they actually called. Like, to go back to the year you got signed to the Broncos, did you ever hear about how close they were to having Joe Thomas? And Cleveland,
oh, yeah.
Cleveland kept asking for one more thing, and the final one
sorry
more
to interrupt.
thing
Let's
was...
go to sorry, Andy. We'll get back to it. The Bengals pick is in. And I am curious what Schefter was saying right there, but let's go to the podium to get the Bengals pick.
They have not. They've taken care of the two wide receivers. So the offense looking good. The defense, major questions. Here's the commissioner to announce the 17th pick as we begin the second half of the first round of this draft. The commissioner enjoying the musical performance. And here's the selection.
They better take defense. They have to, don't they?
With the 17th pick
take a wide
in
receiver.
the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Nice pick.
All right,
Good
hold
pick.
on, though. Why do you like that? With the low production, why do you love it?
I just think for the Bengals just being smart for once, taking a defensive player that has a very high ceiling. I know the production wasn't great. Texas A&M's a funky defense. It's a weird defense because it's a mishmash of pressures and like exotics. So you don't have the ability just to be at edge and just pin your ears back and play football. I think Shamar Stewart's going to be a really good pro.
All right, could this end the drama, by the way? Are we on the team that ends the drama for DMac?
What do you mean?
Seattle and Shedeur. Here we are. We've arrived at the moment.
I don't think so. I mean, listen, nothing I guess would surprise me, but I mean, this is feeling 21 to the Steelers, and let me tell you, that is one hell of a deal for the Steelers, and that's a great break for Shedeur Sanders too. It's well, talk to me about the offense coordinator and all that, and what the system, because it's not really Tomlin, right? I mean, what would Shedeur be dealing with?
Smith.
It's Arthur Smith, right? What would Shedeur be walking into there in Pittsburgh if it was that?
I think it's, getting first downs is a major upgrade.
Got a couple of good wide receivers, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you got DK Metcalf and George Pickens.
It's a hell of a situation to walk in.
You're going to have great defense. There's not going to be incredible pressure on you to score, a copious amount of points on any given game day. Yeah. I think it's a tremendous situation for him. I think it's a better situation than Seattle, to be honest. I worry a little bit.
Definitely.
I worry a little bit with Seattle. You talk about following the guy. Mike McDonald is following the guy in Seattle.
He is.
And he didn't get off to a great start.
And Seattle just got rid of all their wide receivers. They got rid of DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett just signed with the Titans today, which is a little bit
They got Cooper Kupp, but
they did. But they paid him $15 million per year.
And we've even heard from maybe some of our sources that have ties to the Rams organization that his body just is giving up.
Oh, there's a reason they moved on, obviously. Okay,
dude,
I think Seattle's in a rebuild mode.
Seattle should draft Shedeur Sanders. I'm not saying they will. They should. They're not even committed to Sam Darnold. They gave him a one-year deal in essence.
Is that all it was? Is it one?
Well, it's not. But if you look at the finances,
the actual
when you look at the finances of it, it's a one-year deal. That's it. It's what?
Seattle's trying to move back.
Well, right. Of course they are. Of course they are. And the Broncos will try
Nobody wants to pick anymore, I don't think.
No.
This is where it's going to get wild.
Is this the worst draft in the history of the NFL?
Well, remember, let's go back and
Pretty
remember.
much.
Sean Payton and George Payton both confirmed when Leggy asked, do you have more than 17 or 18 grades? And Sean flat out goes, no, that number sounds about right. So we're out. What are we at? Pick 18 right now? We're right on the edge. And Leggy said a bunch of the teams didn't even have 18.
Okay, well, keep your eye on the Steelers, okay? if the Steelers are really after Shedeur Sanders and Seattle's trying to move back, they'd be foolish to not move up 3 spots.
Well, the pick is in for the Seahawks. By the way, the worst draft to me was the Kenny Pickett year. It was one quarterback in the first round.
So
he went
bad.
In the middle rounds. It was boring. It sucks. This one isn't. Listen, it's interesting, and maybe it's not the worst because the drama with Shedeur is real right now. So it's compelling, but it was not a strong quarterback class.
My take on this particular draft, as it's going to go down historically, I think there are 3 players that are unicorns at their positions, at least from the way I see it. Ashenty is that type of player. Travis Hunter at 2 positions. And then I also see that the third player is Tyler Warren because of all the different things he can do. Now, the NFL would disagree with that take. At least the Bears organization would. Because they took Colton Loveland ahead of Tyler Warren.
All right, well, the pick is in for the Seahawks. The Broncos are only a couple of picks away. Tampa Bay's in front of them. I wouldn't blame anybody for trying to move back, but you're not going to get a lot of suitors unless there's interest in Shedeur right now. That's it. That's the only reason anybody would move up.
Shedeur has got to be so nervous. He has got to be so freaking nervous right now. Yes, they think that the Steelers are going to take him. But my gosh, dude, all that stuff, everything they invested in that green room and that house and all of it.
It could get a little embarrassing.
You want to know who's really nervous? Coach Prime.
Yeah, he
of course.
For the very first time in his life, he has absolutely no control.
Let's go to – I'm looking at Goodell right – no, you're right about that. Let's go to Goodell, Seattle.
In any first round in the common draft era is 3. We'll see if those start. But here's the commission.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zable.
I like this kid.
North Dakota State.
You got a chance to do the game.
Yeah.
Were you on the sideline broadcast for that game?
I was.
Or were you in the booth?
No, I was filling in for one Andy Lindahl. This kid's fun.
Second guard off the board today.
Guard tackle, right?
First off, yes. North Dakota State is an offensive line factory.
It's incredible.
Where
do they find these guys, Tyler?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, they are legit. They're legit football players. You saw it when they played the University of Colorado. Those boys, they are built to run the football. I do think he probably looks more like a guard at the NFL level. What you got there? Oh, Catan.
What is Catan?
A little, but it's like an 8-hour-long board game.
So they just have Catan out, just wait past the time.
So. Yeah,
past the time until they get to the draft pick.
Yeah,
you didn't have to wait too long. This draft has been flying.
Oh, it's going fast. It's fun. Shedeur's tumble. I'm a little bummed, man. I don't like to see it happen. I think some teams have already made some mistakes, but a lot of the rumors that we heard, Tyler, appear to be real. That does appear to be real.
Yeah, that's what I said this morning. I usually don't fall into the 24, 48-hour rumor mill that's rolling out from the NFL in front of the draft. But there was so much smoke with this Shedeur deal, and there was so much, brazen confidence about people being in the second round, so on and so forth. And I was like, look, man, I think you'd be a fool to not be listening to it at this point.
So when you're talking about Coach Prime and the fact that he's been able to coach his son at the youth level, prime prep, and then obviously at Jackson State and at CU.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he's been able to control the surrounding cast.
Yeah.
He's been able to recruit good players and put him in the right situation, handpick his coordinator. Right now, he's completely out of control. Do you think that Coach Prime has any form of assurance from, say, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin that, hey, if he's available, we're taking him? Or do you think it is just a wild card, who the heck knows what's going to happen?
I'd have to see more video from their draft room, like the body language, the vibe in there. I think they built the rooms. They were going to have the party no matter what. He might have had a little bit of a vibe a while ago. Maybe that's why he isn't there in Green Bay, right? And so if that's the case, then maybe nothing is that surprising tonight. Maybe it is falling like they knew it was going to, and they're not surprised.
No, they're not surprised. They're not. You could just read it. I brought it up earlier, but Shedeur tweeting out what he did today, come on, that's not nothing. When he literally tweets out,
right,
whatever happens today, I'm built for this.
Right.
You don't tweet that out if you're a top 5 pick. I'm built to be a top 5 pick, whatever happens. He's ready for the slide. He knows what's going to happen. They're not naive. They're not dumb. But I do believe that, yes, some way, somehow, they feel like they know enough from Pittsburgh that they feel comfortable.
By the way, is there anything to take that Travis Hunter did go to the draft and he didn't go back in Dallas with Prime? Anything to take away from that? A little independence from Travis Hunter that, it's my time and I'm not completely connected to Prime?
Yeah, I've been told that the relationship is distanced a little bit. So.
I would understand that. Yeah, I would get that.
I wonder why.
Oh, I think we're seeing why.
I don't know. I don't buy into that. Okay, if you've heard something, fine. I haven't heard that. Travis Hunter's like a son to him, man. I don't think there's some sort of bad
Prime
blood.
wasn't there in Green Bay, and he wasn't there in Dallas.
Yeah, well, he's got a biological son.
Yeah, and let's be honest too. I mean, Travis Hunter,
you know something,
was going to go top 3.
It looks like Andy does know something.
Said what I said.
I like it. Well played.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
Andy being a little careful.
Shedeur's draft day could be draft weekend was a whole heck of a lot more unpredictable than Travis Hunter's was. Travis Hunter, when you go to the actual side of the draft, you would like to know that your name's going to be called fairly early.
For the record, I'm just here to tell you, I think the Saints and Giants have both made a mistake. I really do.
I don't.
I think, okay.
The reason I don't think they made the
mistake.
They
don't have quarterbacks, Mike.
I agree, but it's about fit. It's about fit. And do you think that Shedeur Sanders is a great fit with Brian Daboll and that organization? Do you think that Shedeur Sanders is a great fit?
I think if you're taking the coach over the quarterback, you're an idiot organization. So good luck. Best of luck making it work.
What if those two organizations couldn't stand the player? Then is that a bad decision?
I read a report that the Giants' war room was in such chaos this morning that Joe Shane actually threw a chair across the room.
That makes sense to me.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
They could not get on the same page.
And they just took Abdul Carter
this morning.
They just took Abdul Carter, right?
Yep.
All right, Bucks picks in, Broncos on the clock.
Oh, baby.
Okay. All right. Well, fellas, because this certainly won't be this will matter, though, of course, for the Broncos, because whatever.
I heard Sean Payton loves
Shedeur. Now they're starting to profile Shedeur.
Well, they've got it to either the Dolphins, Falcons, Steelers. They thought highest percent was Dolphins at 13.
Wow, they had the Falcons. Why would they have the Falcons in the mix?
No idea.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, the draft day predictor. You better change AI services.
We'll have the Bucks pick. We'll move quickly on to the Broncos, but we'll get right back to the Steelers right away, and then reaction later tonight at Dove Valley as we go. Do we have an update on have the Nuggets even started yet, or are we? Where are we at?
They're at the desk right now.
So they have not even begun yet.
8:15 is the official tip.
Okay, all right. So we've missed nothing there. Now you go to Shedeur. There's Prime. Shedeur's wearing a leather jacket. There's some guy with a big hat on with a dollar sign. Nothing says humble than a big hat with a money sign in the number 2.
That's Gilly. That's Gilly for the Eagles fan.
That is Gilly. Yeah, that looks subtle.
Who's Gilly?
Oh, he's the Eagles guy fan, super fan sort of dude.
Really? You know Gilly.
I don't know Gilly.
Don't even worry about it.
That's why I asked who's Gilly.
Let's go to the podium for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Broncos are next.
Got to be defensive
With the
back.
19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Amecha Ibuka.
Wow. Okay.
Wide receiver.
All right, fellas.
That's pretty dangerous. Him and Mike Evans together.
I like it. You got Burden. You got Golden. You got
Hampton.
You got Hampton. You got Henderson, rather. Who do you guys like? Here we are.
Trade down.
Trade out.
I look. The betting favorite for the Broncos is Omarion Hampton.
Yeah.
That's who it's been for a while. I believe the second best odds landed on Travion Henderson. I still don't think a running back makes sense right now.
Okay.
I don't. You're going to get either or something of the same caliber in the second round. So to me, the best value play, the tight ends are gone. Best value play lands a wide receiver. My choice would be Luther Burden, but whatever. You like Matthew Golden speed? Cool.
I like Burden. I'm with you there. We've all talked about it. Leggy's talked about it. Are you going to take it back and actually run him enough that you need to, or are you going to keep throwing the ball more than you're running? If you're going to keep throwing the ball, fine, but then go get a receiver here and get it back in the second or third round.
Burden is awful tempting right now.
I would agree.
It's going to all come down to how much Sean Payton fell in love or did not fall in love with the prospect throughout the course of the draft prep, the interviews, because I think that stuff's going to really matter in this spot. Sean Payton, if he fell in love with Luther Burden or fell in love with either Omarion Hampton or Travion Henderson, Sean Payton's going to pick him at 20.
I got to tell you,
he doesn't care what we think their value is.
I'm getting last-second cold feet on a running back right now. I am.
Because there's just so many of them.
There's a lot of them, and how committed are you to using them the way the value would say you could use them compared to a wide receiver where the top 10 wide receivers make $30 million a year?
And let me just give you another angle. Who's the apple of his eye, of Sean Payton's eye?
Bo Nix.
Who's his son? It's Bo Nix, right? At the end of the day, he wants Bo Nix to look freaking awesome.
All right.
Okay?
Make a call. I'll say Luther Burden right here.
I say there may be a trade. This is taking awful long.
Well, they're fielding phone calls.
Could they trade out?
Well, of course. Listen.
Because if you want Shedeur, now's the time, possibly.
I think they're trading, fellas.
I think they want to trade.
Yeah,
I think
that's
they
a good
want.
call.
The question is, who wants Shedeur Sanders? Who's out there that wants Shedeur Sanders?
Well, the Steelers don't have to move unless they hear rumors that somebody else is.
Exactly. I mean, you could flip the picks with the Steelers and the Broncos if the Rams are interested, if the Browns see an opportunity to get back in here. The Saints. This really comes down, is there anybody right now who really wants Shedeur Sanders besides the Pittsburgh Steelers? And that's why the Broncos are taking a little time, and that's good. Here? And that means they're thinking about it. Right here, everybody, the fact that the time is clicking down, meaning the Broncos are taking calls right now or making calls to see if they can move a little bit. The more the time goes off, the more they're thinking about it. Now, they might not get a buyer. If they don't get a buyer, they got some good options. They do.
I bet they pick. I do. It doesn't make sense to me at this point. If somebody really wanted Shedeur Sanders, they could have made moves. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not going to be too nervous about it. So I'm sure the Broncos would like to trade back.
Well,
they're not going to field suitor.
And don't forget, Field Yates, I think it was Field Yates or Daniel Jeremiah, I think it was Field Yates, had said in his mock draft that he published today that he heard the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't worried about doing Shedeur right now either, that they would take a running back or a position player. So if the rest of the league believes Pittsburgh is not going to take him, then the tumble continues.
Is there any pick that the Broncos would take right here that would disappoint you?
A kicker.
for me, a disappointing pick would be Travion Henderson or Omarion Hampton. Now, I don't think it's an alarming pick or it's a bust pick. It's about value. But hey, I doubted the value of their 12th overall pick last year, and it played out very well.
Malachi Starks is there, a safety. Emanuele is out there, the freak safety from South Carolina.
Your safety room, you just bolstered it with Talanoa Hufanga.
Well, I gotcha, but at what point
you still have Brandon Jones.
At what point does BPA kick in?
Not at the safety position at pick 20.
No. Best player available at a position in need.
We're going all the way down. This clock is going to go the entirety of it.
Yeah, we're going to need to look at you. We just lost our TV.
They're going to pick, boys.
We have a little.
Nobody is going to be trading up.
No, I got you. But if they don't put it up here, we can't turn it up. So, all right. Well, that's the way it goes. You know, we could have worked that out maybe a little ahead of time, but we won't have audio of Roger Goodell's pick if we don't have the TV. So that's the way that goes.
Nothing we can do.
I'll say back to Spring, you got to be on alert right here, and I don't know if you can even help us out there, but if that's the case, that's the case. So we may have to just announce it. So, yeah, that would kind of suck if you can't just put it up there for a second. We'll get back to the Nuggets game in a heartbeat if they can just flip that switch back to where it was. Any help? No? Yes? Oh, okay.
Sure, Broncos are staying put according to Garofalo, so they're picking.
All right, coach us up there, Andy. You're following it.
I'm just seeing Garofalo. All I've got is they are not trading. No one's trading in front of the Broncos to get Shedeur. Or no one's trading in front of the Steelers to get Shedeur.
Okay.
So the Broncos look like they're making the pick.
It's going to be Hampton or Henderson. I believe it.
Pick is in.
All right.
I like it. We'll see. All right, so
Andy hates it.
Oh, go ahead. You can just say it if you got it, because we're not going to have the audio of it.
Barron.
What?
Last name Barron.
Barron.
God bless him.
Andy, what are you doing?
I don't even know who it is.
Holy cow.
Jahdae Barron.
Oh, the linebacker?
Cornerback Jahdae Barron out of Texas.
They took a quarter. They took a quarter.
Or Jahdae. Is it Jahdae? Sorry.
They took a freaking quarter.
No, I got the name texted to me,
Hold
but I
on.
was only given the last name, and I have not had that guy on my radar at all.
What happened to our Riley Moss love?
Oh, we got the TV back on.
Jahdae Barron is going to be their pick.
And Brandon Jones, starting safety, just tweeted out that we are now the Denver Longhorns. So it is confirmed.
I thought Riley Moss was going to be like number one corner on some team. What is happening?
Wow.
I mean, we literally found like the one thing that I could not have predicted, nor do I like.
Yeah, I got to tell you, corner was.
Wow.
What just happened?
How's that linebacker sounding now?
I'll take a linebacker. Give me an offensive lineman.
I thought it was
Give
Jihad.
me Walter Nolan. Give me a defensive tackle.
I thought it was Jihad Campbell.
Campbell was supposed to go to Tampa Bay.
Well, we have the first shocking moment of the draft.
There was a Bo Nix.
Look, man, this could be one of those moments. Let's
go to the podium and hear Roger Goodell.
And he knocks it in.
Oh, we got golfed.
No, we've got the TV, but not the audio.
Oh.
Okay. It's just someone made a free throw.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right.
All right, so it's the Broncos select
Jahdae Barron.
Jahdae Barron from Texas. Jahdae Barron, a cornerback from Texas, will be the pick for the Denver Broncos. It's a stunned crowd here at number 38. Nobody knows what to think of that.
It is a pin drop crowd.
It is a pin drop crowd.
I mean, what is happening? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Is Riley? Do they secretly hate Riley Moss?
Well, no, I don't think so.
There's no explanation from a nickel perspective because you got Jaquan McMillan.
You don't need a first-round nickel anyways.
There's no sense that you can make out of this pick, at least unless you're moving on from Riley Moss. Is there something that we don't know about his health? Has it deteriorated at the end of the year?
But you still need a quality nickel. You play in a division.
You don't
with
use
Patrick
a first-round
Mahomes.
pick for a quality nickel.
But Jaquan McMillan is a quality nickel. He's a
Yeah.
really good nickel.
All right,
He's a top 5 nickel.
Here's what Ian Rappaport is saying.
Okay.
The Broncos make calls to move up. They tried to move out in front of the Steelers, but no takers either way. So they go with Jahdae Barron, extremely smart, versatile quarterback who was coached by Vance Joseph's cousin at Texas.
Now listen, maybe if we get in the fast-forward machine and it's
They're the
10 years from
no-fly
now
zone
and
2.
he's right and the whole thing, but on the surface right here, this is one of the worst illogical picks in Denver Broncos history. I don't know how else to spin it.
Yeah, this is one of those moments that it's like, hey, you're not hating on the dude. Matter of fact, I don't know anything about the dude because I didn't look into corners. I didn't think for 1 second a corner was a possibility.
We didn't
of the
talk
Broncos.
about it for 1 second.
I'm not trying to hate on the dude.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Dane Brugler's The Beast breakdown of Jahdae Barron. The overall assessment is a substandard size corner that's intelligent and plays across all positions. 5'11". A 5'11" corner goes pick 20 when you have the opportunity to move the needle potentially at the wide receiver position.
Does he do something else?
Slot. Is he your slot guy?
No,
what you guys forgot is he actually is Travis Hunter. He plays wide receiver also.
Jahdae Barron, he plays their nickel. He plays the star position at the University of Texas. He's not even a true bona fide corner.
Put yourself in Riley Moss's shoes right now. You just had a breakout season. You balled all year long. You could not have done anything better, and you just got replaced. Don't get it twisted. Riley Moss just got replaced. You just drafted a first-round corner, and you do not do that unless that is with the intention of replacing Riley Moss.
They try to move up.
Don't give me this nickel stuff. I'm not buying that for 1 second.
We're just trying to help you explain. We're all stunned.
Well, if you look at
is anybody at this table not stunned?
So he was.
I'm totally stunned.
He was the Jim Thorpe Award winner.
Okay.
Best defensive back in college football.
Really?
Led the Southeast Conference with 5 interceptions and 16 passes defensed. That's what you just got in your first round.
Hey, listen. Again, wow, I am stunned, though.
This is a BPA. This is a BPA pick, DMac.
Is he
best
BPA
player
over the offensive guys, though?
Best player available as it relates to how the draft room broke this thing down. And they have Jahdae Barron is the only player. If you tried to move out, you tried to move up, you couldn't get either one to make sense for your franchise. So what do? You got to say, Do we have anybody even slated at this spot at pick 20? This is the guy they got.
All the cameras right now are on Shedeur Sanders. And
I don't care about Shedeur. I don't even care. I didn't think that there was anything that could happen in this draft to surprise me. There was nothing that could happen to surprise me. You can take a wide receiver. You can take a tight end. You can take a running back. People told me you can take a defensive tackle. I forget Shedeur Sanders. We just selected a corner.
How do you really feel? Aside from that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
How can we? But
you made his voice do that earlier.
But
with the Dallas Stars thing, I didn't think we'd hear it again. Now he's done it again. But he doesn't have another voice inflection. All Tyler does is
I'm laughing.
You can't go high or low. You're stuck.
I struggle with voice modulation.
I can't change.
I can't affect.
And I also have to poop.
Yeah,
the Steelers pick is
you
in.
You could never go.
We don't have the audio for it. Unless spring, you can find the audio
go to
somehow.
higher register.
I cannot.
So we're about to see the Steelers pick.
I hate you.
And we appreciate everybody. We'll take a commercial break
Sean
after
Payton.
this. The pick is in for the Steelers. Is this got to be Shedeur, right?
No, it is not.
Talk to us. Just tell us. It's fine. Go.
From Adam Schefter, they pass on Shedeur and go with Oregon DT Derek Harmon.
Wow. And the slide is not just on. Wow. It is official, and it is bona fide.
Hold on. Somebody just clarify something. I haven't drank in 2.5 years, and they've been spiking my drinks. Am I drunk right now?
About what? About which piece?
This is why the Broncos couldn't trade out. People knew. They weren't taking him.
Guys, this is crazy.
Hey, you know what's the craziest? Sean Payton's daughter got bad information for her mock draft.
Derek Harmon, a defensive tackle from Oregon. Look at the Steelers fans jumping down. They hate Shedeur too. Oh, they got to cut. Well, I'm following it here. We'll see here in a second. Holy cow, Shedeur Sanders is probably going to go in the second round.
He is not going to be picked today.
Wow, fellas.
And if the slide is on, what's going to stop it?
Oh, I have no idea. Well, I don't know. I would never take a quarterback in the second or third round, period.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the point?
Do you want a potential disgruntled malcontent in the second round or third? I mean, how crowded?
Don't forget, last year after Bo Nix went at 12, the next quarterback went in the 5th round. Like, that was it. Once you got through.
It was all the way down to Spencer Rattler.
5th round.
Which is same as this draft. I think Spencer Rattler is very similar to Jackson Dart.
Sure. And by the way, I'm not against taking quarterbacks in the 4th, 5th, 6th round because they're you never knows. My guy Kyle McCord is likely to go 4th or 5th round, something like that. But why take a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round if you're not that committed to him? Yes,
why take a corner in the 1st round?
No idea.
Look, we don't need to. If we want to play the audio, Spring can try to play it later. Here's the deal. Ian Rappaport reporting there was a split in the room, and apparently Mike Tomlin must not have been on the Shedeur side because Orlovsky said that if Tomlin wanted Shedeur, much like McDaniels taking Tebow back in 2011, that Tomlin would have just taken Shedeur. So maybe Tomlin was not as much in love as we thought, or Tomlin doesn't have the power he had a year ago. But a split in the draft room is why Shedeur was passed on.
Wow.
There's a Steelers fan here tonight. I talked to him before he got our draft coverage going. He wanted Shedeur. He said he's going to be upset if the Browns
What do you think the conversations are like in Texas right now at Prime's house?
Don't you dare turn that camera on.
How many times did we all, and I guess I should speak for DMac and I, but how many times did we all say there's no chance in hell that Shedeur goes in the 2nd round?
A million times.
You know what? Hell is here, boys. we are firmly propped in hell.
Because his room and all that stuff down there now, how silly does that look? Oh, my God.
Do you just head upstairs?
Yes.
Do you just everybody go up to the living room?
Well, by the way, ESPN did not.
Turn the power off.
They did not go back to they have not shown video.
Because they turned the power off in Texas.
They're trying to get Big Leather Hat Guy out of the room. That's why.
Yeah, they did not. So, hey, listen, I actually respect ESPN for that, just to be a little human here.
Do you think that was ESPN's call, DMac?
No.
Let's be honest here now. Let's be honest. Let's have a real conversation.
Keep it real, I think we saw a change in coverage to not humiliate kids as drafts have gone on. That used to be the way all the drafts went, and they've taken a turn away from that.
Who do you think controls access in that household?
Well, I think it's Prime, but still, they haven't been mean, and it would be mean right now to go there. Would it be great TV?
They did it with Will Levis just 2 years ago.
Because he was there. He was there at the draft. I mean, they weren't, at the Mayo house of Will Levis, just showing him
Yeah, he was at the
green room from his home kitchen
with his girlfriend.
D-Mac's
right.
wrong. They tried to cut to him. They cut the power.
Well, who knows? But it is a humiliating situation and night for Shedeur.
I hope that there is a documentarian that is going to write a piece on the overall feel of that building.
Well, you're right, because where does he go?
When does he tweet out legendary?
Wow. The buff.
That's
a buff.
I'll tell you what.
Buff on buff crime.
I know.
There.
That's serious buff on
And he's
buff crime.
laughing.
I told you, I'm drunk right now.
Yeah, you really
I
are.
haven't drank in 2.5 years. Someone spiked my drinks.
It's probably because it's the first time you've been in a bar after 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in a couple years.
Hey, did somebody in the bathroom give you a stick when you licked it or something? What's going down?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the
you had
Broncos.
somebody's Care Bear.
Dan gave me one of his gummies.
That's what I was going to say. Somebody offered you some gummies, and you're feeling it right now.
By the way, I'm looking at grades, at least on CBSSports.com. They're giving Jahdae Barron of the Broncos a B-.
All right. That's solid.
Smart, versatile player. Yada, yada, yada.
Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, I mean.
Look, I told you, Peyton warned us. He set the water for this. A great defense that can get the ball back to the offense is sometimes a quarterback's best friend. Now, do I agree with it? I'm not telling you I agree with it. I'm just telling you I felt like Sean has been warning us.
Hold on. The more I think about this, the more it makes sense. You can't have a white corner in that NFL.
And on that note, let's take a commercial break. As we roll on, it's a stunning first round. Altitude Sports Radio, 9:50 a.m. All right, we're back at number 38 as our ongoing draft coverage goes on. Nuggets up by a point over the Clippers with 2:34 left. Brett Kane is hosting the party, spending some time with us, though.
Hey, boys.
Kaner, by the way, Omari Hampton has now gone to the Chargers. The Broncos take some dude named Jahdae Barron. You know, Vic's as familiar with him as he is with Kyle Farmer. And Brett Kane, what do you think?
Well, obviously, I dug deep on the research.
Yeah.
I've scouted this guy for months, and I'm here to tell you,
yeah.
I have no idea who this person is. and here's I'm just being honest, because in all of my wildest dreams, I looked up and down, like I knew that they'd get a corner in this draft because they need depth. That's obvious. When Riley Moss went out last year, you knew it.
Here's a quick test. What's this person's name?
Jahdae Barron.
Okay, all right.
Wrong! Barron!
Hey,
Barron!
Do we know if it's Jahdae or is it Jahdae?
That's what I'm saying.
We might have to cue up the Jahdae music tomorrow.
Yeah. So anyway, about Jahdae Williams.
Jahdae.
Jahdae
Williams.
We got Jahdae.
I never thought.
The sweetest taboo. We drafted the sweetest taboo.
We said forever.
That smooth operator.
Forever leading into this. We're like, all right, I have no idea what they're going to do. They could trade up. They could trade back. And I guess, was it Rappaport who said that they tried to make some phone calls to move up?
They tried to do
move
everything,
back. Yeah.
but pick at 20.
So you were all kind of thinking like, they didn't have a pressing need outside of running back. Running back, they need somebody. But you can get that a little bit later. So it's
Maybe
like they could go in any direction.
Receiver?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I've said that all offseason. That's why I was looking for, your Cooper Kupps or somebody, like maybe a veteran. But I don't know. I honestly, I'm just trying to be honest here. I don't understand the thought process.
As I was, after about 3 hours of radio, I had to go use the restroom, and I had clarity. Usually when you're, standing up and relieving yourselves, you find a moment of clarity. And for me, this was a panic pick.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think you're spending so much time trying to move up potentially. You didn't get what you wanted, and you certainly didn't get what you wanted.
Don't forget the Surtain pick. They videoed it, so we know it. It was like George Payton looking around the room. Safest pick, safest pick, safest pick. Like
that was different though.
That was a little bit of a room divided at the same time.
Here's where I think the true panic set in. I think Amecha Ibuka getting off the board.
That's a good theory.
That's
a really good theory.
And then
nobody had him going to Tampa.
Can't move up, can't move down. Because Amecha Ibuka, as I read more about him leading up to the draft, I was like, this guy is off the charts intelligent. Really, really good character, checks out. Sean Payton wants to fill this entire franchise with guys that will be in alignment with Bo Nix, who is all of those things too. I think Amecha Ibuka.
Summer Sean Payton was in that room. I want Amecha, I want Amecha, I want Amecha. George, what do we do? What do we do now?
Turn on some Jahdae so I can get my Zen.
That clock was ticking.
It was.
Because they were trying to go. Well, at one point they were going. It's hard to trade. It is way harder to trade than everybody would assume for.
Well, now what do you mean? On my mock drafts that I've done before this, on NFLMocksDraftSimulator.com, I traded back 4 times in the first round. It was easy.
But here's the thing, guys. What do we talk about? Nobody wanted to come up for Shedeur. We all thought they had the honey spot because of Shedeur.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out Shedeur truly may not be a first-rounder without a trade
That does blow my mind that may happen, and we're very close to it. Green Bay is on the clock. I mean, I don't know where they're going to go here. Really, it's all about Shedeur right now. But don't forget, Golden was on the board for the Broncos. Hampton was there. Henderson was there. Burden was there.
Can I say just one more thing? Because I got to go give away prizes in a minute.
Sure.
So, the one thing I will say, I don't understand the pick. I don't know who the guy is. But I said this heading into the draft. I think the Broncos organizationally have their pillars set. They've earned my confidence and trust right now. So I'm not going to judge this too harshly because I trust the people in charge for the moment.
Well, and back at 20, Phil, there's so many good backs.
Right.
You don't have to.
I like them not taking it back.
Did any of us on any of our shows at any point say the words Jahdae Barron?
No, I had the
I've
safety.
listened to Jahdae in the last 4 months, but I've not said Jahdae Barron.
I didn't know his name, DMac. What do you think I'm going to say?
The Broncos literally drafted a guy on a radio station that does nothing but talk sports that none of us mentioned on any of our shows.
Do you know when Shanahan did it, though? Do you remember the pick when Shanahan did it?
I think it was a corner as well, wasn't it?
Willie Middlebrooks.
There you
what?
go.
Who?
Right.
Come again?
Don't worry about it. Right. Kaner, let's go. You got a final thought here?
I trust the boys. Oh, yeah, this. I'm feeling all right. Right now.
They're down 4.
I want to see some more shots being made from the outside because I think they're going to need it. Can't get in the paint very well, so we'll see.
Porter playing, by the way.
Yes, Porter is playing.
All right, we'll let you go.
See you, boys.
Stuff away. Thank you, Brett Kane. Listen to him in the morning. And the Packers pick is in.
What does this pick mean for Riley Moss in all reality?
No, it's not good.
Well, the more I thought about it, I was thinking about shelf lives, right? Shelf life. What's the expiration date on that food in your pantry? What expires the quickest, Mike? A white corner.
I would say this though. Look, you've already paid Pat Surtain top of the market. If Riley Moss keeps improving, I don't think it does anything to him this year. And listen, Jaquan McMillan may want an awful lot of money too. They still need 3 or 4 corners to be able to play good defense in the NFL.
The drop-off was ridiculous. When Riley Moss was injured, it was horrific.
Now, I thought they were going to draft a corner probably 4th, 5th round because that's what you always do. You start selecting wide receivers and corners because they're special teams core.
But remember this, Riley Moss, this is 3rd year for him because he was injured the first year. Next year, he has a great year. You could be looking at having to pay him again. How much money can you spend on corners? This may not be the right now replacement, but you're right. It's probably in the future.
Panic pick. I know, Barron, we're joking about things, but I know he was highly regarded. I know he got the corner over that award over
Travis Hunter.
Over Travis Hunter. I remember when that happened, but even when that happened, it was kind of give me a break. But
the breakdown on the beast, Dane Brugler's beast, is fascinating to me because Vance Malone wants to play a high percentage of man-to-man coverage. This is a player that played predominantly zone coverage in the University of Texas's system, and that's what he was good at. He's a physical corner. He can tackle, but they say his movement skills aren't elite, and his makeup speed is not good.
Does any of this reek of we're the smartest guys in the room and we'll show all of y'all?
I think they just got their board and
I think they trusted their board.
This is the way that they wanted to do it.
And
I don't think it was panic.
And you think Ibuka was there and they freaked out a little bit?
No, this must have been I think this probably was their next highest graded player.
Because they clearly didn't like Burden or Golden.
Well, they may, but not right there.
Okay, well, if not right there, then never. If those guys.
Burden could slip too. We don't know. Maybe they don't like. Listen, Burden is smaller than typically what Sean likes. We have to remember that.
Smaller.
Well, it's fine. We obviously know they don't really like him that much.
No,
we get it.
I got round, apparently.
No, not that much. And listen, man, that's way too much of a risk if you like him to take him in the 2nd round or think he's going to be there. So okay, we get it. You didn't like him. You didn't like Golden either.
Green Bay Packers are picking.
Yeah, you got
Luther Burden.
I'm not doing
Matthew Golden.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
I'm not surprised by that. Are you?
No, I'm not.
No, that's a hell of a pick
speedster.
for them. But that is ironic, considering the Packers never pick, receivers ever. But now they got one.
Pretty awesome. Matthew Golden is at Green Bay. Is a guy that potentially could have slid out of the 1st round. He's in Green Bay at the draft, and his suit is essentially custom built to be a Packers suit, green and gold, if you will.
Well, that is awesome for him. And how do you think your pal Jordan Love is going to like that?
He is going to be happy. It's something that Aaron Rodgers never got as a 1st-round drafted wide receiver. And, in fact, he was wanting one the year that Jordan Love was drafted in the 2020 draft.
Let me ask you this. If the Broncos were to find a way to get Torrey Horton later in the draft, or
not a CSU,
pick your back. Travion Henderson.
Give me
Judkins. Maybe they get Judkins.
Oh, there's a lot of great running backs still left for sure.
Yeah, Travion Henderson's going to be available. Probably not when you get to him in the 2nd round. Quinshon Judkins will be available. I'm fired up about that. And then I think the tight end position, man, there are some guys.
Lots of tight ends.
You had one in the studio just
Terrence
the other
Ferguson,
day.
He's a good-looking joker.
Running back's too big of a hole to pass on it again.
That's got to be 2nd round.
So it's going to be a 2nd rounder.
Right,
your 2nd rounder has to be a running back.
Who's the kid from Iowa?
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson's got to be in the conversation.
Well, is Travion Henderson gone?
We still have
no, he's not.
I mean,
but to Coach's point, Travion will be gone before we're on the board.
He could potentially be gone in the next 8 picks.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Look, we had the Ginger on, and he just defaults to they've earned my trust. And I kind of feel like you guys are circling into that camp right now. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think it's a panic pick.
Okay, fine.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm not doing it.
There's no
logic. But you don't know their grades.
I'm not taking the company line on this one. And let me be clear, this is not a shot.
I'm not telling you it's a good pick. I'm just telling you they trusted their
Barron.
grades.
This is not a shot at Barron, okay? I don't know anything about him. Maybe he's a fantastic football player, but it does not make sense. And I won't back off of it, okay? This does not make sense. People keep talking about on Twitter and on the text line, well, we need a depth at that position. That's not depth, boys. That's not depth. You just drafted a starter. A first-round pick is a starter. That's what you just drafted. And we needed starters at running back. We needed a starter at wide receiver. We needed a starter at, well, maybe not at tight end.
I would argue you do.
You probably do.
Because that's a tight end that's a little bit past his prime and has been a bit injury-prone in recent years.
You do not need a starter. Okay, Andy, maybe it's a play for the future. I got it. Figure it out next year. You've got starters that you need to fill on this team right now. I just don't like it.
You know, we had talked about Jahdae Barron before. We all have. Do you remember?
Tell you what, we've got Jeff Legwold on. He's over Zoom. Let's go ahead and include him in the conversation. Now, I hope he can hear us okay. Jeff, do you have us?
I got you.
All right, buddy. You know what? All of us want to know, and I'll get out of the way, DMac, but all of us want to know what the heck just happened.
Well, it's the best thing that could have happened. I had him as the number 8 player in the draft. This is a spectacular value pick, and more than just available. I mean, this guy was a top 10 player on the board for almost every team I talked to. So the Broncos were patient, and they did the one thing I thought they might not, which was take a defensive player if he was the best available, and they did that. This guy can play anywhere. They could line him up at safety. They can line him up at corner. They can put him in the slot. He can play anywhere in the secondary. And I thought he was the best tackler among defensive backs on the board.
Like when you look at the plan for, say, Riley Moss, typically when you draft in the first round, you're drafting a starter. Do you think this says anything about where the Broncos view Riley Moss?
No, I think it says they play all three of them. McMillan's a free agent after next year, and or after this season. So, he's very good, one of the best nickel corners in the league, but do you want to pay him $10 to $12 million a year? This puts you in a position to play Riley Moss and Barron and Surtain and possibly McMillan at the same time. And Barron can play safety, and it will not stun me if the Broncos work him there in some of their schematic things. I think this is a versatile player you can get on the field in many different ways.
Jeff, I got you, man. I don't doubt the talent. I know you're really good at this, and I know that you're not alone in valuing him as a top 10 pick. Why do we need him? Okay, we can put him on the field. I got it. We can have 3 corners out there. He'll be out there. We had one of the best secondaries in the NFL already. Why do we need him?
Well, I think, Tyler, it's the division you're in, who you have to face, and what did the defense look like when Riley Moss was injured last year. So, I think this is a value pick. I'm not sure. I didn't have an offensive player on the board nearly as graded as this player. So I'm not sure, what other direction you go where you get a better football player than this guy.
All right.
Giants have traded back in and are on the clock.
Oh.
The Giants have traded with the Rams, so we'll see.
That's where Shedeur's going to go.
Any more?
He's going to end up in New York.
I don't want to hold up Jeff either. Any more questions, or what do we want to do?
Jeff, just overall, any surprises? And with this news right here, is Shedeur going to go to the Giants at 26?
The information I had coming into tonight that both Cleveland and the Giants had done their due diligence on Shedeur with the idea they would either trade back into the bottom of the first round or take him at the top of the second. This is what those teams were projecting Shedeur at, so would not shock me if that's the pick right now.
Wasn't Tebow drafted at 26?
I thought it was 25, but I can't
25?
remember exactly.
Same thing. All right, Jeff, we'll let you go. We appreciate it. Tyler was about to Kill a fool. He hates the pick, but you're here to talk some sense in there, all of us.
I don't hate the player. It has nothing to do with the player. I hate the pick.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll let you go. We appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
I guess this is your Bradley Chubb moment. I don't hate Bradley Chubb. I don't hate the player. It's got nothing to do with the player. And with all due respect to Jeff, he didn't really answer my question about why we needed him. He explained how good of a football player he is.
He just went straight BPA.
He's a good football player. Why do we need him?
It's a George Payton pick where you go off the board. That's what George Payton does.
Okay, why do we need him?
Highest graded guy.
We had one of the best secondaries in the NFL, plain and simple.
But they simply win. Listen, like I was going to say, we have talked about this guy before because Travis Hunter didn't get the Jim Thorpe. Remember it? Remember all that talk? Remember Prime saying, I'm going to give my Jim Thorpe back? It was because Jahdae Barron won it. I mean, what do you got?
Wow.
Give it to us.
I mean, just based off of body language, they've shown the Shedeur Sanders coach Prime camp, and they've shown the Jackson Dart camp. It appears that the New York Giants are going to be taking Jackson Dart.
I told you.
Just solely based off of reactions.
He prefers it. Dable wanted Jackson Dart,
which is a preference.
This morning.
It's a preference in the fit. It goes back to fit with that position.
Remember, the Giants are the ones that didn't. They originally weren't going to send all their people out, then they changed their mind and did it.
Done deal.
Is it Jackson Dart?
Yep. Jackson Dart's going to the Giants.
Wow.
And Shedeur will wait longer. Now, does Cleveland trade back in, or do they just wait for tomorrow? Who else do they got to worry about?
Nobody.
I would trade back, and they'll find plenty of partners.
Well, they still got to worry about the Steelers. So Steelers might make a move also.
Just for the fifth-year option?
Yes, it helps, yes.
Does this pick for the New York Giants just reek of a Drew Lock type of a quarterback or a Daniel Jones type of a quarterback?
You don't really like them. I'm telling you guys, quarterbacks in the 20s are traditionally garbage.
How about Russ?
This is different than they didn't just select him in the 20s. They moved back in. So I think that's a separate category.
They don't really. No. I counted for everything. You don't really love them. If you loved them, you take them at 3.
But you're down with it at 32. So why would you not be down with it?
Because those are championship teams that they're different. Mid-20s to me. Listen, I think it's crazy. I think the Giants suck as an organization. Best of luck to them with Jackson Dart, a guy they really don't believe in.
It's not going to go well.
It's not going to go well.
And Brian Daboll
You were saying they were throwing chairs around the office. Probably about this.
This makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's a dysfunctional team.
You know what?
I wish the best for Jackson Dart.
Do dysfunctional franchises and organizations pick quarterbacks in the 20s?
Yes. Broncos and Browns have done it 3 times. Can you name those 6 quarterbacks? It's a fun trivia contest. Can you name the 6 quarterbacks the Browns and Broncos took in the 20s?
Flacco wasn't 20s.
No, he didn't go to
he's a
Brady Quinn,
Brandon Weeden, Johnny Manziel.
Braden Weeden. Broncos took Paxton Lynch.
Tommy Maddox, Tim Tebow.
Well, there you go.
It's a nightmare location for quarterbacks. It is. And for the Jordan Loves and for the Aaron Rodgers, I get it. But in general, it is a nightmare spot to take quarterbacks. Now, if you want it, by the way, only 3 quarterbacks ever have been taken in the 30s. Teddy Bridgewater, Patrick Ramsey, and Lamar Jackson. There's a slight advantage there, okay? A slight. It's better to take them there because you do get the 5th-year option rather than in the 2nd round. It was miserable. Drew Lock was taken after Dalton Reisner in the 2nd round. You think that guy had a shot?
When you had back-to-back picks.
It was terrible. And the story was Elway wanted Drew Lock. It had to be talked out of it, and they took Noah Fant, who was fine or whatever.
Not really. He's on his 3rd team.
But what are we doing
I
here?
think he's
Guys, I'm telling you, I'm going to ring some major alarm bells. If Shedeur doesn't go in the 1st round, he may not go till the 4th round.
It could very easily happen. The only team that I think.
Why would you take him in the 2nd or 3rd round?
The very next pick is the Los Angeles Rams. Could that be the pick? Could Sean McVay be the guy that takes that on?
Maybe. But I'm telling you, this fall could be really dramatic. And after they were done with quarterbacks last year, the next guy was Spencer Rattler in the 5th round. Listen, Jackson Dart, congratulations to him. You're a 1st-round draft pick. But the fall from the 1st round to deeper rounds, guys, it is not common these days to take quarterbacks in the 2nd and 3rd round. This could get way worse for Shedeur. Way worse.
I don't think so. I mean,
who's taking him?
The Falcons have traded back into the first round now, too, at 26.
All right, well, there's
with
value.
The Rams moving back.
There's value, guys, here. And the fifth-year option is a cool deal for teams. And a lot of teams in the playoffs, they don't care. Their teams are good. They'll take the extra picks in the second and third round. I wish the Broncos, frankly, guys, had dropped back and gotten out of the first round at this point and picked up more picks. Hey, Jahdae Barron, cool. Congratulations, you won the Jim Thorpe. We didn't talk about you for 1 second. But I would have rather had 3 second-round picks than Jahdae Barron, who seems repetitive and pointless at this point.
Oh, there's no question I would. Yeah.
So, weird.
I just don't get it. I know Jeff says, well, they're all three play, and he's right. He is right. In the NFL, your starting defense is your nickel. You got more snaps out of your nickel than you do out of your base defense. So, yeah, all three guys will be on the field. But
what do you got?
Nobody. Go ahead.
Goodell is announcing the pick. And, indeed, it is Jackson Dart. We knew it on Twitter, but it is official that the pick has been number 25. The New York Giants move back in a trade with the Houston Texans and select Jackson Dart with Shedeur Sanders still on the board.
Wow, okay. My phone is blowing up with angry, weird people right now. Not weird people, but like what just happened.
Yeah. Get this, though. Remember, I don't think Shedeur is going to Atlanta, but remember that weird percentage thing they put up on ESPN said the Falcons were the second likeliest team to take Shedeur for whatever it's worth.
What?
And they're now back on the clock. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know why. I'm just telling you they had that weird graph up there.
No.
What? I know. But remember, it said 47% was the chance that Atlanta would draft him. I don't know why. None of it makes any sense to me. This night doesn't make sense to me. The only thing that makes sense to me is when Joker left, the Nuggets couldn't score and got down by 15. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Is that what they're down right now?
No, they're down by
10 now.
But they're fine. It's the long way to go on that
Shedeur Sanders, 8 hours ago,
legendary,
tweeted out, "I'm built for whatever today may bring," of which has now been quote tweeted, "Tomorrow is also a great day."
No, shut up. He did.
Reddit college football.
Oh, I thought you said
everybody's saying, how about tomorrow?
Yeah. You're built for today. Tomorrow's a different story.
Wow. So the Falcons traded a next year first to get back up here.
Are they? There's no way.
What?
Wait, say that again?
What? They gave up a first round to get to where they are now?
According to Mike Garafolo, the Falcons traded 46, 242.
What?
And a first rounder in 2026.
What?
To get this Rams pick at 26.
Well,
and 101.
Is this Shedeur?
Right now, you got Penix. You've got Penix.
Maybe the Falcons have just decided we're drafting quarterback for the rest of our life.
Yeah, but maybe they're not that committed to Penix, and they retired Dion's number.
Well, I can tell you, the Sanders family is incredibly popular down there. If you need to sell
you think that might be a thing right now?
I don't know.
Seriously.
I don't look. Nothing in this round is making any sense to me.
No. You guys both stop
I need it to happen now.
Wait,
he's losing
who is worth a first? But hold on. Who is worth the first round pick still on the board?
Breer said that they're trading up for Tennessee defensive end James Pierce Jr.
What?
But he's worth a first round pick
for next year
for Atlanta.
What? That is insane. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I think this has been more fun than last year.
It has.
Oh, for sure.
You're
right. No doubt about it.
None of us know what is going on.
I mean, I have laughed my ass off.
I'm with you. I thought I got a gummy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I thought it was a mint. But I don't even know what world I'm in right now. I feel like Willie Nelson slipped me something.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I cannot believe that's.
I think I'm actually hitting the comatose face of the edible.
It's KKSC-FM HD1 Broomfield Denver Boulder. And pretty stunning night.
I don't even know where we are in the draft. What? So we're 26?
26 now. Well, at this point, we're just giving everything away left and right. We're way ahead of the TV broadcast. So spoiler Andy is in full effect, but it doesn't matter because everybody's watching the Nuggets game. The draft isn't even on any of the TVs.
Spoiler Andy got texted his spoiler and didn't know who the hell they were talking about.
It doesn't matter because the crowd's watching the game.
I was like,
fine.
Baron Browning?
Anybody go with
They drafted Baron Browning again?
I'll take Baron for 500.
Is there a name, Broncos Baron?
By the way, are any of us laughing at the timing of the Broncos about to pick and they just turn the TV off? Hey, Denver Broncos going to – well, sure.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was all Brett Kane's fault. He's hosting the Nuggets watch party.
Get
all the TVs out.
What are we doing? This demanding prima donna. I won't go up there if the game's not
We all
on.
know he's a soulless ginger. We know that. He doesn't even care about the draft.
We're into it for 2 hours and 15 minutes. The Broncos are about to pick. Kane's like, Nuggets.
I want Nuggets on 39
he's so
television.
bold. How do you know he's a ginger? It's back. Hey, did you share your hair guys with him?
Yeah, buddy.
See, Kaner, you're looking good.
Oh, wow. Did that come off your backside to grow that or what?
All right. Leggy is happy, by the way, because Leggy, we talked about
this was a Leggy pick. He's a scout.
Of course Leggy was
why.
happy about
He's
that.
He's a scout.
And he puts his board together not based on relative value of the position. Every position is kind of the same to him. He's just about the player. So for him, and I think we should take this seriously, Barron to him is a top 10 player. And don't forget, Leggy said there was only, 18 quality first-round picks?
Yes.
So Barron was one of those few. Yeah.
I like this tweet from NFL Next Gen Stats account, throwing shade at the Broncos selection of Jahdae Barron. Say round 1, pick 20 Broncos, Jahdae Barron, DB Texas. Barron will team up with Pat Surtain II and a secondary that allowed the second lowest success rate against the pass last season, 40.3%.
Do not forget, there was a narrative last year that the absence of Riley Moss was so insurmountable that we needed him back so bad.
Well, but
that was the answer to everything.
Well, what game did he miss, though? Did he miss?
He missed like 3 games.
I know. Was it Cincinnati or the Chargers that was brutal down the stretch?
It was laughable that he was that valuable to the team. And, yeah, Josh, it turned out to not be the case. Listen, I like Riley Moss. He's okay. But Barron will start right away, and I don't know what happens to Riley Moss.
I don't know that Jahdae Barron will beat out Riley Moss.
Well, then we got some freaking problems.
Well, I mean, you heard Leggy talk about it. That the guy's played safety. He's played the hybrid nickel slot position. You know, he's covered. He's played in every single spot in the secondary. And I'd say, I don't know, man.
Dude, if he doesn't start from day one.
They have so much depth in secondary now because they added Talanoa Hufanga to a secondary and a safety room. If you want to talk about him potentially as a safety, you've got a P.J. Locke is back for another year.
Yeah.
Yes. Brandon Jones is clearly back.
I tried to trade
J.L. Skinner.
Hey,
J.L. Skinner's there.
Dude, I would try to trade
play special teams.
I would try to trade Riley Moss. What could you get for Riley Moss? I'd try to trade him.
Or Jaquan McMillan.
I guess.
That might be the play. They might unload that knowing that's going to be.
Do you think Jaquan McMillan has more value than Riley Moss?
No, but I'd hold on to Riley Moss.
He might because he's over a 2-year period of time. He's become a top 5 nickel in the National Football League.
Let's all just to be fair to it. When they last won the Super Bowl, they had a defense that could both cover and rush. And so if you put that back together and you plug your hole over on the other corner spot or the nickel spot or whatever it may be. Remember, they had Kayvon Webster on that D2. People forget about how Kayvon Webster came in the dime, and they had David Bruton that could play the big nickel and cover tight ends. I mean, if you've got an answer for a lot of coverages, that's the best friend, as Sean Payton has said, that Bo Nix could have. Because then he doesn't have to try to play Super Bowl with whoever the supporting offensive cast is. He can keep it in a comfortable space and try to control the game.
My problem, though, is you've spent your entire offseason addressing the strength of your football team, the defense. All of your free agent signings were on the defensive side of the ball, not including Evan Ingram. And Evan Ingram's the one piece that you added on the offensive side of the ball.
For 2 more years.
And it feels like a rental.
Would you rather have Omarion Hampton then? Should they have stretched for him?
Yes, I would have.
I wouldn't. I guess what I would have wanted
would you have
is
stretched for?
Luther Burden, but I mean they
may
clearly
still get him.
Yeah, you're right, and they clearly didn't have a first round grade on him.
He's not off the board.
Dude, if they don't go running back in the second round, I'll be stunned. I'll be stunned if they don't go there now.
Why don't you believe in Audric Estime?
Because he got benched for a dude who hadn't played for a playoff game. Like, how about that moment?
Yeah.
That happened.
That was rough.
Rough for Estime.
Yeah, and what happened, too?
They got like 3 carries.
Don't worry. The Broncos keep calling Audric Estime's camp and telling him how much they love him.
But they also...
Do they really?
Yeah.
They also said Jaleel McLaughlin was going to be a big part of that game plan for him to be, 2 snaps?
Well, you got to run more than 7 snaps for running backs in a playoff game. We remember what that was like.
What about the Kansas kid? There's that kid Neal out of Kansas. There's the Iowa back.
Crushed Colorado.
Remember, 2, 3, 4. There's plenty of times to get backs and receivers.
I agree. I'm fine with that. And the commitment to a running back in the first round anyways. But I didn't anticipate a corner.
I get it.
I mean, he did win the Jim Thorpe, though.
But Sean warned you, man. I keep telling you, Sean kept bringing up defense. I feel like Sean Payton doesn't lie to us. I'm trying to get a feel for the guy. Sean's pretty open about his stuff.
I think things.
You got to give him a couple lattes.
Hey, he told us he loved Bo Nix last year. Just none of us wanted to believe. Well, one guy, but the rest of us didn't want to believe it.
I can't wait to hear what they weren't willing to give up to go get Tyler Warren.
Right.
I can't wait to hear what that was.
Well, and look,
DMac a year ago,
we'll never
I feel
find
like
that one out.
DMac a year ago, I feel like you were a bit of a compromised agent, and the Broncos were giving you a little information about your Bo Nix.
No, it was
a little bit. Did you have a little Bo Nix vibes coming from some insiders?
But we knew before the draft that Sean Payton had worked out Bo Nix in a private workout after his pro day. We knew that. That was not a secret, and they said really nice things about him. So, no. I mean, I think I heard the same thing everybody heard.
I was just wondering.
But I believed it.
What'd you do to your source that this year you don't even know the guy's name? You have no idea who this guy is.
I will never get over that moment when Andy says, Barron?
It's a Barron? Who is this?
Anybody know? And we all sat here in silence. Like, nobody wanted to embarrass themselves by saying, I don't know who that is.
I was looking for Jeff's top 100. I was trying to find
anybody know who that is? Nobody wanted to step up to the plate and be like, I got no clue who that is.
Well, because it was also at a position that, I think we joked about it. The one position that you probably don't need to draft for sure is the corner position.
We were nervous about a defensive tackle.
We
just missed linebacker. We didn't look at any offensive linemen. But the one position we disregarded the most was corner.
Would you have rather than taken an offensive tackle, knowing that you're going to probably age out at either Garrett Bowles or Mike McGlinchey?
It would be the same concept, I guess, is what Andy's saying. It does feel like they're making a decision. Right? Either they really believe in Riley to the point that he's just going to be too expensive. We can't pay Pat Surtain and him. Or they just don't. They're not high on Riley Moss. It's probably the first. And if they drafted a tackle, it feels like it'd be the same thing. So I don't know that I've been fired up about that either.
How about the fact that the Giants moved back in the first, as did the Falcons, and neither one of them took a swing at Shedeur? Wow.
James Palmer says that the Broncos never thought Jahdae Barron was going to be there at 20. Never. Had to pick him. They loved his game.
You know, they've done this before, too. This is how Missouri linebacker failed miserably. Shane Ray. They did that with Shane Ray. They did it with another cornerback. Gosh, I'm forgetting his name. He's part of the no-fly zone. Help me out.
Which one?
Not Harris.
Chris Harris?
Fringe. No. Fringe. No-fly zone.
Oh, yeah, I know. Bradley Roby. Who they picked in the first round.
Shane Ray and Bradley Roby were the same thing. It was the same thing.
Well, listen to this on Pat McAfee. I love this pick by the Broncos. That, according to Darius Butler, the old safety for the Colts, Jahdae Barron can do everything and he can play anywhere. We keep hearing he can play anywhere.
So he's a starter.
The position that he played in Texas's offense or defense was called the star position,
which
safety,
is
linebacker, nickel.
The Joker.
It's a Joker. We got a defensive Joker.
Hey, Sean got his defensive Joker.
God.
Come on.
He got us. He didn't say offense or defense.
He just said Joker.
He just said Joker.
Joker.
He got us.
Joker.
You got us, Sean. You're smarter than everybody.
He didn't tell you where the Joker lived.
I can't wait to have Sean breaking that down.
Oh, no.
I mean, this is
the Ravens got Malachi Starks.
Good pick.
I do like Malachi.
How many Georgia defenders have been selected?
Is this the third or fourth? Definitely the third.
I think it's the third.
All right, we're here.
Now we're all just stunned.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, it's been fun. It's been a fun draft. It has been a fun draft.
Plenty of laughs.
It feels like we were at Thanksgiving and everyone got drunk and some things were said that you didn't mean. Some relationships were scarred. Others were made
Actually,
new.
we're all coming out of this thing all right in terms of one another.
Yeah, it's all
a lot
good.
better than last year.
Yeah.
Last year, there's almost some punches flying. Yeah.
Oh, I never got there.
Last year was amazing. But listen.
Have they shown Shedeur in, like, the last hour?
No, and
they showed him once.
I'm telling you.
It was just his back, and he was staring at the commercial. Yeah. It was the NFL girls flag football commercial.
Yeah.
He's just staring at it, just kind of
they went back
in a
one
trance.
time. Yeah, because guys, it could get. Hey, who knows at this point? Frankly, who knows? Who knows? Again, once quarterbacks were finished last year, went from 12 to 5th round.
All right. Keep in mind, though, the Browns have got the first pick in the second round. Okay, they also have the 4th pick in the second round.
Yeah,
they got 2 cracks at him early in the second round. That makes sense. Guess who else has got an early pick in the second round? Tennessee Titans. We've said from the beginning, why are the Titans not in on a quarterback? Raiders are early in the second round.
Wait,
there's
Titans?
actually, yeah.
They drafted Cam Ward, right?
Oh, I'm drunk.
You're really drunk. He's drunk. This man is drunk.
Because we were also sure
I
you
just nodded
forgot.
I knew what he said. I just nodded my head.
I was waiting.
That makes sense.
No, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
We'll
Cam
take
Ward, Shedeur,
both
sure.
the quarterbacks.
Sure, we'll take
Hey,
them all.
I actually like the concept of like, hey, let's settle this thing and let him duke it out and see who wins the job.
Hey, now hold on. That's
not terrible.
Do you remember when the Cowboys had both Troy Aikman and Steve Walsh?
Yeah.
Same roster. They flipped Walsh for quite a bit of haul.
Hey, your team, Washington. You know, they double dipped on quarterbacks with RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Why not?
They did.
So, you know, it's not crazy.
You guys see that RG3 took the vacated job by Brock Heward? He's going to be the announcer. He's going to be booth 2.
Who Brock Heward
Fox.
stepped aside to do what?
Coach some high school football.
Yeah, buddy.
Is he officially on the staff?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Tight end coach.
Okay. Sure. That sounds good.
Well, I mean, there's somebody who's coached quarterbacks before.
I understand.
On the staff.
No, I say that's a perfect tight ends coach, Brock Heward.
Yes.
All right, moving on.
I can't even.
What does that even mean?
Nothing.
What are we implying?
Means nothing.
Well, you go ahead. You go ahead and tell Brock I said this.
Go ahead. He's probably listening.
Yeah, Brock. Call me when you want to learn how to teach blocking. Okay.
Amen. Although I think we're going to have two or 3 former NFL offensive line coaches.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you're going to be all right. That's good. With about 31 seconds, the Nuggets are down by 18. How about that one, sports fans?
I told you I didn't have a good vibe about this one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I not only was it a bad, it was a bad vibe. I was really, really nervous about this game.
Would you call this a pretty bad 24 hours of Denver sports?
Dude.
24 hours?
Holy cow.
This
Andy Lindahl gave up his fandom.
Monday.
Yeah.
I heard you today. You gave up your fandom.
No, I divorced my fandom if you're going to play like that. If you're not going to go hard in the corners, I told you, the Avs to me, you want to get a little Avs talk in? Avs to me look like every time Baltimore runs in here to play Denver in football. Denver tries to slug it out for about a quarter and a half. They get physically beat down, and they don't follow through. And right now, the Avs players, better find your heart, better go to the corners. You better decide you're going to take a little punishment, better get in front of the net.
Hey,
you want to fire me up again? This whole week, man, every time I go to a bar, there's something crappy happening in Denver sports this week.
Where's the ginger? The Lions are on the board.
The Lions are. By the way, have you guys noticed that the draft is now slowed to a crawl now?
I can't find anything about anything.
Well, these later picks are tricky because everybody's probably taking calls, right?
Oh, they all wanted to try out.
Sure.
They're taking defensive tackle Tyleek Williams out of OSU.
All right. I mean, certainly. Nobody is going to move up to take Shedeur in the – well, I don't think they are.
No, the Browns don't have to. Browns don't have to.
Right.
They can just take him with the pick tomorrow.
They wouldn't have the fifth-year option, depending on how much you value that. So it might – they may still. I mean, it might be worth their while to go to 31, 32.
Who's got 32? Philly? Maybe the Browns say, hey, you want to flip?
Why? Who's got 32? Really?
Why? For the fifth-year option.
Yeah. I mean, it's little things. And it wouldn't cost you much to do it.
I'll give you a 5th rounder now.
Well, it's what the Ravens did to get Lamar. I mean, you sort of just.
Would there be a worst case scenario for Shedeur Sanders than to slide all the way to at least the very bottom of the first round or potentially second round, and the team that drafts him is the Cleveland freaking Browns, which has been the quarterback cemetery for 25 years?
Well, if I'm the Browns, I do it. You got nothing to lose, and you got some ammo. I would This is like the Ravens and Lamar Jackson right now. I would definitely do it. I would try to do a deal with the Chiefs, or who else are we looking at?
Do you think Deion holds an emergency presser?
I think he's kind of embarrassed right now, frankly. But
in all seriousness, how are we feeling from a human perspective for Shedeur?
Bad. I feel bad for him. I think he's getting a raw deal.
I do too.
I think the Giants made a huge mistake, as did the Saints.
There he is. There's Shedeur.
I feel bad for him. I think he's getting a raw deal. I think teams are making mistakes. And I think a smart team, the Browns, would be hell of a smart to move back up to 30, 31, 32.
Bucky ain't looking happy.
No, he did not look. He did not look happy at all.
All right. Well, this draft ain't over. There's still 4 picks left, and Washington's on the board right now. There's time for the Browns to move up, and I would do it if I were them. What do they have to lose?
Well,
do we know that the Browns like him?
Why do they need to? They've got the first pick in the second round.
I would do it because you also have Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco as your quarterbacks.
No, I got it. But they can get him in the second.
I would use the advantage of that 5th-year option. I know you poo-poo it. You say it's not a big deal.
Well, it's only been used once on a quarterback of value in the last
decade.
You,
but it wouldn't cost you a lot to just move like 2 or 3 spots. I mean, what are we talking about, a 5th, a 6th-round pick? And if you're the Chiefs or the Bills or whatever, why not? Why not take the profit? You're going to pick 4 picks later? You don't care. You're not taking a quarterback. You don't care about the 5th-year option. It's still a smart move for the Browns to do it. It is.
Is there any chance of success for Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland?
Yes, if he's still a first-round pick. Yes, because that's the Lamar Jackson situation. So, yes, because you'd still say you're our guy in a weird sort of way.
But not really. I mean, based off your logic, if you pick somebody else in the first round, then you're saying you're not as important as –
no doubt. Can you name the player taken in front of Lamar Jackson?
Nope.
It was the tight end.
Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst. Very good, Tyler. Yeah, where's he these days? I mean, yes. I mean, whatever, man. You can do it. I mean, the Broncos took Demaryius Thomas and then took Tim Tebow. Like, where's your commitment? Not as high, but you're still a first-rounder. It would matter.
But who did Detroit just take?
Took Tyleik Williams, the D-tackle from Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at our boys. Dems, Vic, Chris.
Not a good half of basketball.
They're just trying to figure out who Jahdae Barron is. Yeah, but
how many times does his name get butchered in the next 24 hours on all the different?
All of them. All of them. Look, Kaner's, he's bedazzled. He doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to figure out when to give away that autographed whatever.
We get to congratulate Brett Kane on his pick of Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle to the Detroit Lions.
You got it now.
You got yourself a D-tackle there, Kaner.
You're good.
He's going to eat up blockers. He's going to – oh, you don't know? Never mind.
Oh, we were giving you a hard time. We should get his reaction.
I want a live
to the
reaction.
Lions pick. Yeah, let's get it from a Lions perspective.
Hey, I don't know what happened. You tell me. I was giving things away.
Tyleik Williams has been
D-tackle?
drafted. Yeah, you know him.
Oh!
You didn't know Jahdae Barron, but you knew
way
Tyleik
to go,
Williams.
dude. Congratulations on knowing your first-round pick.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Depth, please. If you remember, the Lions had, I think, 4,000 guys on IR at the end of the year on defense.
Yeah,
so I think that that might have scared them a little bit. Offense was one of the best in the league, and I think getting some depth there on the defensive line never hurts. Never hurts at all.
Sneaky good pick in the NFC North. Matthew Golden going to the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, everybody's trying to build around that offense there. I mean, you're going to have to score. If you look at what Minnesota and Detroit did last year, I mean, Green Bay had a good offense, but it wasn't as good as those two.
You know what? You weren't really paying attention to the draft. We weren't really paying attention to the game. What's going on?
The Nuggets can't score. It's a big problem.
Yay!
Yeah, a very, very big problem. So
is there anything in particular that's...
So they're doing the double-team Joker in the paint thing. He's got to find somebody, and it's just a matter of, it's the same story as the first 2 games, right? They can't get points in the paint. When you lead the league in points in the paint the entire year, and then it becomes a problem right now, it's funny. They've gotten away with it a little bit in the first 2 games. Even game 2, they knocked down, 45% of their threes? Mm-hmm. But I'm just sitting there, I'm like, if they can't find a way to score inside, that's not going to carry over. They're a bad shooting team.
They only had 38 points in the paint in their last game. That's their 4th lowest they had all year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. And so they're relying on outside shots. They've hit a couple, but, I mean, you're talking about missed layups here and there. The Clippers really lanky inside, so when you try and get to the rim, it's difficult. Russell threw up an air ball. Kawhi's just can't miss again.
Can't miss again.
Like,
oh, gosh.
So his mid-range.
At what point do we just throw 2 guys on him nonstop?
Well,
like seriously,
Nate suggested it today.
Make somebody else shoot the ball.
Yeah, because here's the problem, Tyler. I'm watching. It's not open. Like, there's a hand on his nose when he's shooting the ball, and it doesn't matter. He just doesn't miss.
Well, and they just showed the stats. You're shooting 41%. Look, man, I said it. Here's my problem. I want to believe they could still make this a series, but you could not run away from L.A. at all in your own building. What did we think was going to happen when they got back down the home court for L.A.?
Yeah.
The Clippers are the hottest team in the NBA coming into this thing. And quite honestly, don't we all know, or aren't we all worried that the Nuggets' health is going to fail them again? It feels like it is.
Yep. By the way, they had a lead, I believe, at the end of the first quarter. The Nuggets had a lead, right? And then there was a 23-4 run that happened right after that.
Yeah. 65-47 at the half.
So what you're telling me is that it's been a really good couple days here at Denver Sports.
Oh,
I do have some good news for you guys. An update on Blake Street. The Colorado Rockies.
Give it to us.
Colorado's real team.
Yeah.
Has dropped to 420. That is their record. 4 wins, 20 losses.
My 22-year-old son was strangely excited about that possible specific record happening.
Has that ever happened for a Colorado sports team?
He was more into just the number 420.
Interesting.
And I should look at his
ASU alum?
No. Journeyman baseball player.
Oh, I know that life.
By the way, the Commanders.
Hey, Jordan Beck hit 3 homers today.
What?
That's fun.
Yeah, the guy you thought was
between
not good enough 2 weeks ago, so you sent him down, and now he's back up.
Yeah, exactly.
The Commanders have picked at number 29, Oregon offensive tackle Josh Connerly Jr.
Good for them. The Bills are on the clock.
So there'll be no more trading, I don't think.
Well, there's 3 picks left, and
it ain't looking good for Shedeur.
I'll tell you this: maybe he goes in the 2nd round, but maybe he goes in the 4th or 5th round. At this point, we'll see.
What's the story? What's the story here? Columbus, help me out,
dude.
Is it really?
Off,
it's got to be a lot of a personality thing. It can't
absolutely.
be talent. Yeah,
absolutely.
His interviews must have been terrible.
When I kept reading all those reports about worst interview of all time,
Maybe.
I'm like, really? The worst one of all time? There's never been a worse one. I'm like, come on, guys, hyperbole to the max. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Okay.
I guess it was that bad because you cannot tell me, nobody can convince me that his film is not worthy of a first-round pick.
It is.
Plain and simple, it's worthy of a first-round pick.
How do you think backwards, sideways hat went over?
I don't think that had anything to do with
it. Well, but is that part of all of it, though? Is that like just everything? Like all of it together was just too much for these teams?
I'll empty the notebook. Because I asked. Everybody was glowing during the pro day in the media, but Leggy was one of them. Talked to a few people that just said he was trying to control the workout. They didn't like that. They didn't like that the NFL scouts didn't make – when Deion walked over and told that guy, don't tell my guys how to get down, that's not how the NFL wants to do this, because you're not going to be the guy coaching him. I am. Shut up. I want to see what I see out of him, and you wouldn't allow that to happen. Then on top of it, I would ask Mike, okay, the film, yes, we all said the throws are there, all that kind of stuff. But if you're Mike Sanford, and especially you're one of these teams where your job depends on it, I'd say the Browns and Giants, that counts. They ain't got new coaches. And I got to watch the film and see, are you running an offense or are you doing what you want to do? Mike, despite the good film and the highlight plays, and Tyler, you played offense in the NFL. Can you tell me it looked for sure like he was running an offense in time?
I don't think Pat Shurmur was running the offense that he wants to run. I think there were so many elements of the air raid offense that he ran at Jackson State that carried over into last season. And then I think Pat Shurmur had to learn the things that Shedeur likes to do. Now, it created a lot of production. They had big numbers. They won football games. I do think that the NFL game at the quarterback position has gone away from maybe the Sean Payton, Bo Nix model, where it's very programmed, it's very on time. So the fit has to be right.
And he's not highly athletic. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not going to – they all kept saying the pedal backwards. Dan Orlovsky talked about it a lot.
That's the worst thing he did.
Trying to escape out of the back of the pocket, that's going to be a 15-yard sack.
Well,
that's going to screw Tyler on the edge because Tyler has no angle.
How much did you hate watching it, man? Be honest.
Well,
that part of it, right?
Yeah, and I lived that life with Robert Griffin, and it went sideways real quick.
You can't retreat backwards, right? I need you to go forward.
Yeah, you
Hold
can't
the
do
pocket integrity.
Okay, you're right. There's still a lot of good stuff on film.
I agree.
Which is where it comes down to. I guess I just buy all the reports about the interviews.
But are you going to take a first-round gamble with your job on the line watching that tape we talked about?
I guess not.
Knowing he's not going to escape edge rushers in the NFL.
I think so, yeah, because I think I can coach that out of him. I think I can teach him to
there
stay
you
in
go.
the pocket.
There it is.
And that's where the interviews would fail.
I can coach it out of him.
Well,
nobody felt like they could, apparently, man.
Well, they met him and they said no.
Well, again, I'm telling you, Deion being in the business is a big deal. Deion having a press conference every couple. Because what's going to happen when Shedeur gets benched down the stretch, as most rookie quarterbacks go through? You don't think Deion's not going to get asked about that at his presser?
Do you think? Hold on, big question. Think Deion's having any regrets? He's not a head coach in the NFL right now.
That's one thing I thought. If he could have thrown his hat in the ring, especially in Vegas.
Do you
I always said that was the fit.
This motivates him to take a job at some point next year or the after year? Because screw this NFL stuff. I'm going to do it my way with my kid, and I should have done it this year.
In Shedeur Sanders' 21-odd years of living on this earth, this is the first time that he has been thrown to the wolves, the pack of wolves where
real world.
Real
world moment.
The Lion King is no longer able to control and protect and nurture the son in the exact environment, and it's got to be terrifying.
Yeah, you're not in the bubble, right? You aren't in the protective bubble anymore.
By the way, where do you think Shiloh's going to go in this draft?
Oh, he's not drafted.
Yeah, he's not.
He may not even be.
There's 0% chance.
Rough weekend.
Just one thing real quick. Tyler said something when I was driving in that I thought was really smart. It's how I felt for a while, which is I think you said it's a lot with him.
It's a lot. It's just a lot.
And you know what? You can take that with a wideout. You don't think Mike Tomlin's coached players who are a lot between Martavis Bryant, Antonio Brown, George Pickens, but that's a wideout. I think it's way different when it's a quarterback. And dude.
Ben Roethlisberger, at the end of the day, was kind of a lot, right?
Oh,
Think about something that happened.
He had things happen, but
that
he
wasn't. A lot.
He wasn't like every press conference is some sort of thing.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There is a lot.
You're right.
By the way, the Eagles have traded to 31 and are on the clock.
No, I thought they were already. They were at 32. You're right.
They flipped with Kansas City?
I guess.
Okay.
No, it's showing right now that Kansas City has.
Maxwell Harrison, cornerback out of Kentucky, just went to the Bills. I'm watching on TV here. You're a little bit ahead there. So that would put Kansas City on the clock, but you're seeing that the Eagles and KC flipped? Is that what you're saying?
I guess so. I just saw trade Eagles
it doesn't
on
seem
the
like
clock,
a big deal, right?
Yeah,
flip one spot.
Why?
I
guess
they're afraid of somebody in the second round jumping up to get their guy for the fifth-year option and all those reasons. That's why. So this does not mean it's Shedeur whatsoever. It just means whoever
if it was.
Well, is Burden still on the board?
Yeah.
Who's still on the board?
Yeah.
Just look who's on the board. So it could be a guy like that. Who knows? But it's a smart thing to do. Because now you're within reach of the guys in the second round easily that could come and sneak up. And this is why you do deals at 30, 31, 32, because you get value if you're KC. So the Eagles like somebody. They like somebody, and we're about to find out who it is. But it's not going to be Shedeur.
And Howie Roseman has never taken a pick on his actual clock. He always moves up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kansas City goes to 32. Smart move, too, for Kansas City. So
they got an extra 7.
They got a vibe that somebody's slightly behind them, like whoever they're about to take. That's it.
It's a safe bet if it's Howie Roseman that it's going to be somebody from Georgia and around the defensive line, isn't it?
Is there anybody left? I feel like all the
Georgia's already had 2 defensive linemen selected.
Well, they got it. They're what? They're 12 deep every single year.
Why
not?
They go with them and worry.
Here's your example, by the way. First possession for the Nuggets out of the gate here. Aaron Gordon's at the rim for a dunk, and he misses. This is what it's been all day.
Dude, it's got to be his calf.
Yeah,
There's no way that calf is
right.
Well,
he was, by the way, there was a flu. There was something going on,
yeah.
And he was one of them. He was somebody else who was sick as well as Jamal.
Here's the good news. The only good day in this sports week has been Saturday. Well, guess when the next 2 game 4s are?
Yeah.
Hell
Saturday.
Yeah,
2-2 incoming.
Hell yeah.
We're not a little excited for Travis Hunter?
I'm happy for him, yeah. Sure.
He doesn't have to go to Cleveland?
Doesn't have to deal with the mistake by the lake.
Bro, you ain't on my team. You're dead to me. What do I care?
All right, well, we are. Well, now the Eagles have picked. I'm curious. Do you know who they picked? Do you know who it is? I mean, we'll see it here in a second.
I've kind of lost interest.
Well, I mean, we're still following Shedeur.
Listen,
we'll
my
follow
head
Shedeur
is
to the
swimming.
end.
This has been the weirdest
all right,
night.
fine. Shedeur falls out of the first round.
Oh, the Eagles did get really good value.
Who?
At pick 31, the Eagles are taking Alabama linebacker Jihad Campbell.
Yeah, he was supposed to go at 18 or 19.
That is very good value.
Very good value. All right, and they must have had a vibe somebody wanted him, so they flipped.
And now their defensive front is terrifying, even more so than it was.
By the way, I hate to alert everybody to this, but KC could get a really good player now.
Oh, yeah, they could get Luther Burden.
Yes.
They still have.
Oh, my gosh. Luther Burden and Xavier Worthy and all that. Oh,
they
my
could.
Gosh.
Or Amari and Hampton.
They could,
no, he's off. He's a
no,
Charger.
That's right, he's a Charger.
How about Imorwari?
Yeah, I would say they have a running back need. I mean,
Isaiah
Isaiah Pacheco looked like he was
falling apart.
Travion
Henderson?
They could very easily be Travion Henderson.
Wow.
I hate
that sucks.
I hate
that
the Chiefs
sucks,
so much.
Man.
All right, so let's say they do take Travion. Now Omarian's off the board, Travion's off the board. What running back do you guys want?
I want Quinshon Judkins. I'd be happy with Devin Neal. I like Devin Neal, but you want him in the third.
Is Devin Neal that high?
Oh no, he's like a third.
Nah,
he
might even be fourth.
But I think he'd be a good pick.
Scattaboo.
I like the guy at Kansas State, Giddens.
Giddens is a bowling ball,
I thought he
man.
was a good player.
Listen, the Broncos, if they go running back here in the second round, they're going to get somebody good, and that's exciting.
Give me a little Cam Scattaboo
in
the
there's
fifth or
plenty
sixth.
of tight ends
That'd be fine by me.
That's what I'm saying, fifth or sixth.
Well, they don't have a fifth-round pick, but they have 3 sixth-round picks.
Can always move back in.
Sure.
I bet Scattaboo would be available in the sixth. If you got 3 picks.
I think so, too. Probably.
Can Andy Reid take the barbecue out of his mouth and give us the pick?
Meanwhile, the Nuggets have pulled it to nothing. They're down 18.
I thought they were just 13. What is going on? Didn't they get it down to 13? Now it's back up to 18?
No, they're down 18.5.
Down 18.5. They're down 8. Well, AG.
Nope.
No. It's like that. It's been like that all night.
All night.
Could use a quarter here.
Like wide open 15-foot jumpers, just can't make them.
It's more just at the rim that's driving me nuts. It's like if you're a foot away, man, even if you got somebody that's close to you, you got to finish.
Does this game
Kawhi.
Does this game feel a little bit like the absolute stinker in Minnesota last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Where you just I don't have a glimmer of hope.
Yep.
You know
I'm starting to feel like this may be a 4-1 series instead of a 7-game series.
Really?
Well, you come back.
You only have to win one on the road, brother.
But if you don't,
got to win one on the road.
But if you don't, have we all just had enough of the year?
That's what. That's what I was saying.
Not.
That's what I was saying earlier today. Is that look? You got the new coach rebound effect. And that was fun.
Right.
And I'm not taking a shot at David Adelman here, but that only lasts so long, and it's over with. And now you're almost to the point where you're being reminded about why your coach got fired.
Yeah, you've got roster flaws.
Yep.
And it's pointing out the reason that Calvin Booth was let go.
Yep.
Team's not built well enough.
Oh wow. Not much resistance here.
Yeah, I've said this before about the Nuggets in particular, especially as of late. When the Clippers score, it looks easy.
It does.
Nothing is
when you score, it looks like you got to scratch and claw for every bucket you get.
You know what this is like? Sorry, Tyler. Reminds me of the 2015 Broncos, where every day you went to the stadium wondering what was going to happen and how hard was it going to be. Now, the defense flew around, loved playing with each other, had fun, but the offense would get out there, and, man, there are just some days where you're like, 2016? What were the years you were on the sidelines for? You want to talk about feeling like nothing was easy?
Oh, good Lord, that was brutal.
Holy cow. And that's the Nuggets this year. You're dead right. Nothing is easy.
Well, the Nuggets are down 22, and I'd say this game's over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
there is no.
Right? So.
Hey, at some point, maybe you might give Joker the fourth quarter off. Do we have a pick?
Just going to how many Georgia players were drafted in the first round.
Give it to us.
This stat is wild. Kirby Smart, since he's been the head coach at Georgia, his record is 105-19. He has more first-round draft picks than losses.
Wow.
20 first-round draft picks in his career at Georgia, and just 19 losses.
First-rounders.
First-round draft
That
picks.
is awesome.
First-rounders. Wow.
That's a Miami run right there.
That's
it's called the bag's been right for a good decade. The bag is solid.
NIL's a real thing.
And it was real before it was real. Especially,
it's always been real.
Especially in Athens, Georgia, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Good old boys.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're still officially waiting for the Eagles pick to be in. Kansas City will go last, and we'll see if that they may take all their time too because they may get an offer or two. And that's the last chance.
You know what? I know I was poo-pooing the fifth-rounder thing. As I sit here thinking about this, if the Browns don't move up one spot here,
right,
they're not taking him in the second round.
I absolutely agree.
Totally agree.
Right, because it costs you nothing to move up one spot,
Yeah.
and why not get some other value? I get it. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's something.
If somebody's not willing to move up right here to get that extra fifth year on the contract, then when the hell is he going to go? You know what I mean? Like, how far is this going?
Again,
how long is this going to last?
Well, last year, after the last quarterback of the first round was taken, the next one was in the 5th round, Spencer Rattler. Now, there's only been 2 taken, and there were 6 last year. But you ask a good question. What's the drop-off after every team that needed a quarterback says we're good?
Right.
Because what are we doing now? And the NFL has changed, guys. It's all about first-round quarterbacks. Look at the rosters. Just look at the rosters and where the quarterbacks come from. Whether or not their bust is irrelevant to what the NFL has evolved to. There's no faith in deeper-round quarterbacks. That doesn't mean a Brock Purdy can't work out. It could possibly happen. We're waiting for a team to take a quarterback in the 4th round and commit to him. But who's that brave team going to be?
All right, so where are we at? I mean, I think we all think it makes sense that they don't move back in. They're not going to take him. Do they move back in?
The Browns should.
I don't think they do.
Well, they should. They're an idiot organization.
The pick is in.
For the Browns?
Kansas City Chiefs.
For
the final pick of the
wow.
of the
so
first
that's
round.
it. Shedeur's not a first-round draft pick.
The Chiefs pick is in.
Wow.
Interesting side note, if you're listening.
That's crazy.
If you're out there listening, you have youngsters either in high school or in college. Through 22 picks, only 4 of the top 22 picks in the draft ever left a school via the portal. 18 of the 22 started at a school and were drafted out of that school.
Wow.
That's an interesting stat.
That is interesting.
It's going to
keep
going.
Travis Hunter was one of them. And obviously we'll have to look and see who the other 4 are. Or the 3
that
are.
is interesting. Wow, the Chiefs pick is in, and it's not going to be Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur, wow, I can't believe it, Tyler. Seriously.
I'm shocked.
I
legitimately. I know this was like a scuttlebutt before the draft started.
We
like
didn't really
he might
buy
fall
it.
out. I didn't buy it at all.
I didn't buy it.
Guys, I don't think he's going to be drafted by the Browns. Pick
No. It makes no sense now. It doesn't make any.
I don't think he's going to be drafted by the Browns. I don't know that they ever liked him.
Do you have the second round there?
No.
That's all right.
I wanted to see who the Chiefs got here.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the Chiefs.
Oh, just reminder of the order in the second round.
Oh, I mean, it's Cleveland, Houston, and goes from there. I mean, I got it right here for you. Goes. I guess maybe I don't. I thought I did. But it goes Cleveland, Houston, and then we go from there.
And then Cleveland.
Cleveland, Houston, Titans, Cleveland. So they got 2 picks in the top 4.
I mean, it could be a
what
Drew
comes
Lock.
after Cleveland? I'm just trying to figure out who might take him. Keep going.
Cleveland, Houston, Titans, Cleveland, Raiders.
Maybe.
Patriots, Bears, Saints.
No, maybe. Oh, wait. Who did the Saints take today? They didn't take a quarterback. I know that.
No.
So Saints are still a maybe.
Saints took Kelvin Banks Jr. offensive tackle
Okay,
from
so
Texas.
Raiders and Saints.
Then it's Bears again. The Jets. They got
maybe.
the 10th pick.
I mean, why not? What, are they all in on Justin Fields?
Hey, listen, maybe a team does take Shedeur in the second. It might happen, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, they're not all that committed to him. That's all.
Yeah.
And the road becomes a lot rougher. Doesn't become impossible. It's just more difficult. That's it.
Would you think the Cowboys would take a flyer? Because they're like the 44th overall pick.
Yes.
Sure. Maybe.
Yes. I mean, a Sanders in Dallas.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen,
yeah.
we all agree Shedeur's getting drafted. None of us think he's not getting drafted.
No.
The shocking story is that he fell out of the first round.
But who's going to want what I think many NFL people would call it the headache?
Would you?
Later, if you're not going all in,
give me a team that would and why.
That would what?
To want him later with all the headaches. It's a lot. And tell me why.
I think Seattle, just because they're not fully committed to Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Therefore, you can develop him, see if he's ready.
And Brian Schneider is still there, who did this with Russell Wilson.
Because now you get into what the hell territory.
And then, and then I would say Pittsburgh.
It's not a priority. It's a what the hell.
What do you think about Pittsburgh? Still can draft him.
You want all that distraction?
If you're saying which one of you two was saying it, one of you two was talking about if Mike Tomlin was out.
Yeah,
right?
if he was torn. Well, I assume because they didn't take him at 21.
Can we all agree that what doomed Shedeur were the interviews and everything that was off the field?
I'm telling you, it's the tape and other stuff. Come on, he's not the first cocky quarterback they've dealt
One of the
with.
highest completion percentages.
But did you not see the scouts saying they don't buy those? They didn't buy the completions. They were fake completions. They were all short things. They were all out to the side.
We have double dipperoos, double winneroos, and it appears we're going to have double loseroos between last night and tonight with the Nuggets and Naz. Can I do a double breakeroo, double breaking news?
Of course.
First and foremost, Russell Westbrook is not going to return with left foot inflammation.
Nice.
Second piece of information.
Okay.
The Chiefs select Ohio State's
Henderson.
Offensive tackle Josh Simmons.
Oh, you were right
to
there.
close out the first round
there.
at pick 32.
All right.
Boy.
All right. Final words from everybody.
What a day.
I don't like the Broncos. I don't like the move. It's not a shot at the player, and everybody's going to always hear it that way. It's never a shot at the player. Well, sometimes it's a shot at the player. This time it's not. Look, Barron can play ball. He can play ball. He's a great corner. I don't doubt that. I know that. It just does not. You could have selected 4 positions that made sense. You already had one of the best secondaries in the NFL. I don't get it.
I haven't been on board with selecting Omari and Hampton at pick 20, and as the day played out, that was really the only value player at pick 20 that fit the Broncos' needs desperately, which was running back. I wasn't sold on Omari and Hampton at 20. However, he's going to the Chargers, and we're going to be able to watch that in real time.
Jim Harbaugh knows a thing or two about running the football.
And he is going to get his touches.
Andy?
I don't know what to say about today. My hope for tomorrow is that there's some offensive skills position. I'm curious to see if they go receiver first or running back, and where do you grab your tight end? There's all those tight ends out there, whether it's your guy Ferguson, right?
Harold Fannin Jr., I love him.
Mason Taylor that you and I talked about.
Love Mason.
Travion
Taylor
Henderson is something that I still am curious about. Judkins is a guy. There's still a lot of exciting names. Do the Broncos trade up tomorrow?
Kaner?
I wouldn't judge it too harshly yet, because if they get somebody like a Henderson tomorrow or Judkins, and I told you they flipped the picks, that guy was actually the 20th pick and the other guy that they choose tomorrow is in the second round, you'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not judging it too harshly yet, but I'm kind of with Tyler. I don't get it at this moment.
Well, but there are a ton of NFL people on Twitter saying incredible value.
Okay.
You don't have to like it, but
Really quick. Do you feel bad for Shedeur?
Yes.
Andy?
Of course I do. I like the kid.
Yes, but I think it's a reality check because you're no longer in full control.
Good way to put it.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I feel bad for him, too.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean anything. Look, man, plenty of people come ask Russ about what Russ went and won the Super Bowl. He wasn't. Joe Montana wasn't first round. We'd go on and on and on. Nothing's written in stone. Now you got to go prove it. Go shove it up their backside.
Kaner, can you sneak out with us at this point, or are you really here for the entire?
No, I got a Jamal signed jersey to give away after this quarter.
Don't you got to wake up in like an hour?
Something like that.
Nuggets have put up a mighty 56. They haven't scored. They can't score in this series. The one thing we thought that they would be able to do no matter what.
No defense.
Right. They can't score.
Isn't it bizarre?
It's different, and it could be the end of their season if they can't figure that part out. And so we'll leave you with that, and we thank everybody. Jesse, thank you. Mark Springer, who's had this epically long day. Thank you, Spring, for everything back there.
High five.
And everybody at number 38. We appreciate it. Dan Tanner is here. He will be doing In the Paint live on the Ray Didio and on Twitter and on YouTube and Twitch and all that. So we have plenty of action for you from number 38 still to go on. But we thank everybody. Kevin, who else is here? Sean, who got Mesa back there, all of our salespeople, and all the fans for coming out here, too. It was a different night, and we thank number 38 for hosting us. That'll be it for our draft coverage. Tune in tomorrow morning for Brett Kane and the crew. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, interesting to say the least.
No doubt about it. Thanks for listening. Altitude Sports Radio, 950 AM.